future behind me. Na 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 na. I'll keep going, nothing can stop me. Na 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 na.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Truth Be Told. I am a noisy Corax, and with me tonight, I have two of our long-time guests. We got Platinum Sparkles. How you doing? How you doing?
Hello.
And that girl trader, Amy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Hopefully, having a good Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, so far.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah. We have got quite the lineup. In fact, I had preset something that was a little bit more mainstream to start us off, a little maybe meme stocky, depending on how you view it. But then I saw something you posted, Amy, and it was just too much to pass on.
That's insane. Like, absolutely insane. I was like, there's no way. Like, this isn't real. And then I looked it up. I was like, it's real.
Yeah. The New York Times reports that Elizabeth Holmes' partner has a new blood testing startup. Not even in the same different ballpark or same area. No. It's the same fucking thing.
Is it still in prison?
Insane. I think she is, yeah.
Or is he like a pen pal, or what's happening?
No, like this is
he our baby?
Is this the man she had babies with, or was that the other like executive?
Yeah, Billy
guy?
Evans, who she has two children with.
There you go.
Children
yeah,
with.
she kept getting pregnant. Yeah, she kept getting
Happy Mother's Day, Elizabeth.
I know, from prison.
Yeah, she kept getting pregnant, so she didn't have to go to jail. And then they were
finally didn't work out.
That's enough. You're going. Yeah, that's enough.
You're going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
If that's
like, oh, sorry, I can't go. I'm pregnant. They're like, oh, yeah.
And she gave him some like hot tips.
It's not going to work, sis.
Hot tips
on
for
blood
for
or
ladies to stay out of prison, I guess.
It's insane. I can't even.
Yeah. Like this even looks, if this is supposed to be the thing. This
is that George Pelicaris?
Smaller than.
I mean, pull up the Theranos thing. Like, is it similar? I mean, I don't know. Is he going to call this one Therius or?
Let me see if I can find. I had to figure out.
Well, she was trying to say
this one might actually be real
blood and do all these different tests, which was just not possible.
There's a fantastic book about Theranos.
Well, the documentary based on the book too. That's really good.
Bad Blood. I have it.
Read it. Great. So good.
Great book.
Oh man, maybe we should add that to the book club list.
It's fantastic.
Oh wait, actually,
just the amount of people that she sold.
What was the book for this week? This month, I mean,
it was the Spider
Network. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I mean, I feel like talking about like LIBOR is going to be like people's eyes are going to gloss over.
Well, we'll make it exciting because there's a lot of exciting stuff once you start.
You're going to make it exciting.
Yeah, we are. So that's.
I mean, it's an interesting story, but it's
LIBOR.
Yeah, it's a lot to break down.
That's the original, and I guess
I mean, not far off.
I definitely not as.
I don't think it really matters what the machine looks like. The entire thing was
physically can't do what it says.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I don't even remember the number. Like off the top of my head, the number of diseases that she said you could.
Oh, thank you.
Diagnose from one drop of blood, but it was insane.
Yeah, it was not possible. Sort of like the George Pelicaris,
the secret microwave.
Machine.
You wanted that.
Oh, stop it with the microwave. Okay, I'm talking about the.
So bad.
He was saying that you could do
the nanoweb.
No, not the nanoweb. The other thing. The like where they were gonna get what were they gonna do? Like blood tests through the skin or something like that for I don't even know. Like diabetes or something, I want to say.
There's so much there's so much about the metamaterials lore I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, really? Hold on.
It goes deep. Yeah.
Well-known.
Anyways, go ahead.
So we have venture capitalists. Oh, early Facebook investor. Okay, well, that kind of tracks, I guess.
Is that all it takes? Because
well, I mean, Silicon Valley people there, Silicon Valley.
Oh, glucose monitoring. That's what it was.
Okay.
GlucoWise. That was like George Pelicaris's company that MetaMaterials bought. the majority
Is
of
it
shared
supposed
vote.
to be
if I
like
scroll down a little further,
the
look at the picture.
what's called an attachment that like constantly monitored or something?
Something.
Yeah.
He was trying to say you could get their like blood glucose level without taking blood.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
The year where it was incorporated in Delaware, according to corporate filings. Documents filed in Delaware and Texas shows that officers have been at various addresses soliciting for $3.5 million.
Wait,
An additional.
he's calling it hematic. Is that what that says? Hemanthus? What does that say?
Yeah, Hemanthus.
I mean, it's supposed to be a play on hemoglobin, I guess, but that's not even how you spell hemoglobin. So, what?
Wait, glucose. Holy
They're gonna
moly.
do like so this is so sorry guys, we're not doing it on humans now. This is different. We're doing it on animals.
Perfect.
Oh,
Well, you can't go to jail for that. Well, she didn't go to jail for the actual thing. She went to jail for being a fucking fraud.
Yeah,
prison.
Prison for 11 years, so out in 2033. Alrighty then.
Well,
Alright.
good luck with that,
Yeah, best of luck in your
Mr.
I mean, and
Holmes.
like, what? Look at that picture. Pull the picture up.
Oh, picture. 1 second. I gotta minimize.
Like, just scroll down on that picture right there.
that dead stare from both.
Why do they look like prisoners? Like, this looks like
well, one of them is Amy.
like a proof of life video, right? Like, what? Look at the
When
happy
is that?
couple. Look at this happy couple here.
At their home in 2023.
Mm.
Well, I thought she was. What's happening? I thought she was
He
in
was
prison at
convicted
that
in
point.
2022, and then sentenced.
How's
to
she at
11
home?
years.
Because
I mean, maybe this is before they hauled her off.
Yeah,
of the
because like
kids.
she had a baby and then she like immediately got pregnant right after. Like, you have to look up when she actually went to jail. It was like a whole thing. But that, I mean, do you think they were like, okay, don't smile? Like, look really fucking
I think that's
weird?
kind of been her thing, just like this dead stare, kind of
It's
robotic.
so weird. I'm surprised she's not in a black turtleneck.
So I discussed this pre-show with Platinum. I don't know if you're aware of what we're about to talk about next, Amy, but this is some creepy shit.
Researchers from the University of Zurich are facing possible legal action due to running an improper and highly unethical experiment, as one of Reddit's lawyers, Ben Lee, has described it. The researchers deployed AI chatbots to a popular...
This is crazy. Sorry.
To a popular debate subreddit called r/ChangeMyView, which is primarily a place where users post their hot takes or opinions and have an open conversation in the comments. The bots made more than 1,000 comments over several months pretending to be real people in order to debate in these discussions, with the idea behind it being to find out if an AI is effective at changing a real human user's mind. However, where things get a little sketchy is that these AI chatbots were diving into sensitive topics such as racial issues, domestic violence, and more, with some bots even going into the OP's account and trying to determine, they were explicitly instructed to determine who it was that they were trying to debate so they could make a more tailored comment in order to debate them more convincingly.
So we're talking about a scientific test on Reddit trying to see if AI can change normie opinions, people's opinions on the internet. And it was basically profiling these people using information on their accounts. And if they had connected accounts, going out and trying to ferret out who they were and what they believed in to try and change their opinion. Big Brother is watching.
I mean, I'm sure they
I'm
have
not
them on
convinced.
every subreddit.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I'm sure
and
they have
I'm sure they're on Twitter,
ChatGPT
too.
bots everywhere.
I'm sure they're on, well, I don't know, because I think AI is kind of smarter than some of these baggies, but I'm convinced that
Well, they were actually
people
using
can't be as stupid as the
misinformation.
people
No,
correctly.
they were using misinformation to change people's opinions. Like, so they were going into
Yeah.
their profiles to see kind of like what they were thinking anyways. And then, I mean, the subreddit they were on was, r Change My Mind, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
and they were
It's like a
literally
debate Reddit.
right, and they were using misinformation in order to change people's minds, which is like crazy
Wow.
and also not surprising.
And like you said, with the whole situation of it being using false information, I mean, this is stuff that we've talked about the handful of times we've talked about AI, you know, false legal citations and legal documents and giving people
I mean, it's just
false
going to get worse and
information that
worse.
doesn't exist.
It's just going to get worse and worse.
Especially
We can keep
if
acting like
you
we're
don't-
surprised by it, but
Oh, I'm
I
not
think,
surprised
I
at
think
all.
it should just.
I just think
it should
it's
just
like
be at this
the
point.
only surprising, honestly, I guess a little bit surprising is like that they were using misinformation to change people's minds, which is just crazy.
Mm.
I know.
Is that surprising?
I'm a little drunk, okay? So
No.
I'm getting
You have.
there.
Don't take on Buzz.
it's a little great. I know I'm not gonna do it.
I wanted like Kevin Malone posted that he had like 104 fever and he was like going to like I don't know if he said the hospital or urgent care or something, and I was like, ask him for some unbuzzed.
Straight into the veins.
But I can't comment because he's a big vagina and
Yeah.
he blocked me.
It's a lot of them, to be honest.
It's almost all of them.
Almost, I'd say all, but we'll leave
Hey,
some room for
Almost.
Super funny retorts and I can't respond.
So next up, we've got some earnings reports coming out. Now, last week we did talk about Wolfspeed because it's one of the emerging baggy shitco companies that people are following. I did look back to and it used to be Cree Research, and basically what they did is like LED light bulbs and things like that, and working with material known as I was talking with Platinum before the show, silicon carbonate, which is basically for these more high industrial things. It's the same sort of like silicone process, but it's for more industrial uses. The big problem I had when talking about the people who were the promoters on Twitter with this is that they were trying to convolute that they had built this new Fab Factory, which is in the thumbnail for those that do have thumbnail things like on YouTube and on Rumble. And they were trying to make it sound like, oh, you know, NVIDIA is going to be buying our chips and all these companies are going to be buying our chips. And when it's like, no, like silicon.
Why would NVIDIA buy their chips?
Because it's silicon carbonate and it can handle higher temperatures. That means you can have a more powerful processor without ever discussing like the actual fact that, you know, it's more expensive and it's generally used for industrial uses. And there's no reason for like, say, Intel or AMD or NVIDIA or ARM or any of these processor companies to use it when normal silicon is perfectly usable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've gotten down to 4 nanometer technology on AMD chips and even some of the other ARM chips. Like, so if we're getting down to this small and still not having problems with heat where you need to change what type of silicon to use some sort of alloy, you know, silicon carbonate, why would you need to do that when you have Intel and AMD who are able to handle their heat just fine? Like, go get a processor like today. I mean, even with the GPUs we use, they're still air cooled. I mean, you can get them all water cooled if you want to, but it's cooled just fine by air. So you don't need to get some industrial grade silicon to get them to work. ARM even.
I have a MacBook and like, I don't even know that this thing has an internal fan.
Well,
it
because it
definitely
uses
does.
an ARM processor, which uses less
I don't think
energy
it does.
consumption, and if you have less
has
energy
to,
consumption,
right?
you have less heat.
I really don't think it does. I don't know.
Well,
I thought that was like the feature of the M1. Mine's M1. I'm not.
I mean, it could if it's one of the bigger ones. It may have, you know, but like I think I don't know if like the Mac Minis have a fan. It just is passively cooled. Are they? I know the laptops because it's more confined probably has fans, but because it uses ARM, it probably doesn't have to ramp up as hard.
It's fanless. It relies on the efficiency of the M1. Mine's M1. Passive cooling mechanisms to keep it cool.
Well, there you go. And the reason it can do it is it's an ARM chip. And ARM chips have usually a lower draw. So if you have a lower voltage draw, then you're going to have less heat. That's a byproduct. So that's like that's what we have with a lot of these like baggy stocks, like fundamentally misunderstanding the company and what it's selling, or intentionally doing so to try and scam people into joining your cult.
I didn't even know Wolf was like a cult thing. Like this.
I didn't know about it
I
until
knew
2 weeks
that
ago
they- I knew that
either.
there's-
Literally
I knew
today, the first day I've heard of it. Honestly,
I knew that there had been some like
God's all in on Wolf.
lore around WULF, like Wolf.
Oh yeah,
Wolf,
the
Bitcoin
one
miner.
that's the Bitcoin miner.
Yeah.
Which,
I
to
don't
be
think
fair, I was
know
looking
very
at
much
it
about
earlier, not because of the cult reasons, but because it
WLF.
was kind of undervalued compared to
Other miners.
book value. Yeah, that too.
Miner,
But I like.
that's a losing game. Bitcoin miners.
I mean, so on with the bad signs. So we have that they had just recently ousted their CEO.
Oh dear, he looks like a gym teacher.
Well, that I think is the new CEO. If I see here, Wolfspeed's new
Whoops.
CEO. It looks like a gym teacher.
Whoopsie.
I mean,
Quote
doesn't he
platinum.
I guess you could
Put that
say.
on a meme. He looks like a gym teacher signed platinum.
I don't know. The gym
Sorry.
teacher at my kid's school he's kind of hot. Like he doesn't look like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I mean, I'm not trying to like hook up. I'm just saying like he doesn't. They don't look like that anymore. If that's the basis.
Then shortly after that, on the 9th, they added 2 new board directors. You can look at that, which he looks like Walter.
Who's Walter?
I have no
Goggins?
idea who that is.
Oh.
Which you could take this one way or the other, depending on the way you see it, as far as adding board directors. And then we got their earnings report that came out.
Let me guess.
It's not good. Don't worry.
Let's guess. We have a going concern warning.
No.
So for the 3 months ending March
feels
30th,
predictable.
they lost $285 million.
Wait, is there revenue though? That's better than Quantum
This
already.
sounds like
So-
AMC.
It looks like games for a loss of $8.86 a share. I was making fun of them last week because it was they were exponentially losing more money as they were trying to build the chip factory and they were having to book that as a loss. I don't know if it's exponential. I'd have to wait to update the chart on that. We'll get back to it next week as far as drawing the chart. But yes, you are right. There is some going concerns
Oh,
here
I guess.
for Wolfspeed.
Isn't there
that?
always?
Isn't there always? Is right.
They did hit annual revenue forecasts. However, there is a concern about them being able to pay off their massive debt that they used to build that fuck off large semiconductor factory. Go fucking figure. You know, Intel was having the same problem, and they're
With debt.
a bigger company with even like
Intel didn't Intel get the like $6.8 billion grant or whatever to build theirs?
Yeah,
From
and
the
it
government?
was still fucking blowing up their balance sheet that they had to get help from Qualcomm to keep it. Like,
Oh my God, is this all
No,
true?
they don't.
call themselves.
They call
Stop
themselves
it.
the Wolf Pack.
You stop that right now.
I don't doubt it.
Oh my god.
Wolves are known for endurance. Wait, is that true? I don't know. Source, please. Is this true?
All I know about wolves is they are much larger in real life than they look on
Way
TV.
bigger than dogs.
Yes, they are very much bigger than dogs. You know who weirdly has
Very
wolves?
much.
Or like at least took pictures with them was Lisa Vanderpump.
But
Oh, really?
like,
Yeah, it's weird.
but that's the story. So so after that news hit, the stock dropped.
Is
by-
God lying? Is their leader like of the wolf pack really called Amadeus? Like
Oh my
I
God.
can't. If that's true, I'm quitting. I can't. If that's true, I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
Stop it.
We have to leave this.
I
We
think
have
they're
to leave
just
it.
trolling us
I'm
now
crying.
because this is all coming from X, and that's where a lot of the wolf subculture is.
Oh my
I-
God.
I mean,
Let's join the wolf pack.
The wolf.
I don't even know, like, guys, I don't even know if we can handle another one of these. Like,
Um.
I can't commit to that.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that was our update on Wolfspeed. I keep wanting to say Wolfpack because now it's all over the fucking
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know. So what do they do? Silicone? Like what's happening?
Yeah. They
It's the company.
basically are a silicone fab company, and they make
Dire wolves.
small.
So, by the way, like
That
just
got
on that
cloned.
dire wolf thing, like I read an article on that, and they didn't actually clone dire wolves. They have like, there's
Amy, stop
some.
fudding the dire wolves.
I'm not, like, it's real. Like, it's not like a replica of a dire wolf. They use like gray wolf
Mm-hmm.
material. in
All right, move
their
on before Amy
cloning
just ruins
process.
everything. Just
Well, I will tell
Right.
you, the Wolfpack is incredible branding. I would agree.
literally, it really.
I will
is.
I
say
mean,
that
it's
they're
not
in
original. Like, anybody seen The Hangover, for Christ's sake? Like,
and I will say, if they do go to bankruptcy, they will be dire wolves. They
my
will be
God.
direly in reallocation of some capital. Not the only one. We have an oldie but a goodie. There was another earnings that came out this week.
Oh my god! Wait, do you have your popcorn, Korax?
Yes, I'm gonna go pop some while Amy talks to us about their.
I mean, all I know is like
Hi,
the
Manuel.
EPS was like, wasn't it like negative 58 cents or something? And then like they
Yeah,
800 and something
-47.
million. They beat
There
by
you go.
like,
The whole chart. We go
Yeah.
pop it.
they beat by like, well, I don't remember the estimates right off the top of my head, but it was not by very much. They still lost $200 million in the quarter. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to say? Like, it's not like it was stellar. Like, I think they beat expectations, but I mean, expectations
we'll get some
expectations
branding
are on the
going
floor.
here.
So I mean, like, congratulations.
Dang it, the name kind of cuts that off, but oh well. Wait, what's this link here? I can't click it. Yeah, it only brings
It looks
up.
like the short squeeze subreddit and who's part of the wolf pack here. My
Ugh.
lord.
Oh Jesus! Anyway, we're on to a different topic.
I can't.
So
We moved.
there-
We
Yeah,
had to
I
move on.
cannot.
Sorry.
we have to eventually move on here. So
Yeah, I can't.
next thing that was noticed was apparently we're having merch selling troubles. You know how our good friend Chris Soika has been talking about all that merch. Well, we got some 50% off sales that make me wonder if they've got some excess inventory that needs to be dispensed of.
Barely. Like, I mean, like if they, you have to move merchandise, right? So like if they're getting like more in for all these blockbusters that are coming, they just need to move it, they'll just mark it down.
Well, they went from no merch sales, right, before
Yeah.
everyone got involved to
And please,
merch
like
sales.
that's like the shit you get out of like claw machines. So I mean, I'm sure it doesn't cost them very much. So if they're marking it down 50%,
Yeah, by 50%, they're basically
probably
marking it back
still-
down to cost.
Oh yeah,
maybe probably still a little
No.
more than cost.
yeah, more than cost for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Then we also have apparently look, I'll tell you right
Wait,
now.
where can I get that though?
This shit is addictive. That
Right.
apparently is
I need
not
that.
apparently
I want that.
down to $1.
I mean, who wants lightly
Apparently it's at
salted
the Pennsylvania distribution.
I know. I don't
center.
really want lightly salt. I want lots of
Yeah,
butter.
like I
lots
mean,
of
who's
salt.
like, you know what I really want is some popcorn that
Look,
doesn't taste like
what I
anything.
gather from the popcorn is movie theater popcorn is supposed to be indulgent. You
It
are
is.
getting it because it is fucking unhealthy as shit. So
Give me that butter. Give me that extra butter.
I mean, the thought of the squeezy packet of stuff that like I don't like it.
Oh, I love it. That's what
Ugh,
talked me into it.
Not
I
in a,
want
like
that.
all right.
like
yeah,
at the place where it's like hot and you hit the button and it comes out. Yes, but like a squeezy packet that's been sitting in a
Oh
box.
yeah,
like,
give me that squeezy packet.
the
That's
thought of it just makes me. Bleh. I don't like it.
So,
I'm
you
sold.
can't call us AMC shills anymore. We're promoting your fucking popcorn. Shut up.
I
Shut
mean, do
the
you like
fuck up.
heat it up before you put it on there, or do you just like?
No.
Wait,
no,
what's
because
happening
it's in
right now?
this
All
little
right, show us the
plastic
squeezy packet. Yeah, that's the one.
Not microwaving this.
You know why?
You
Like,
just
I
Okay, and
bet-
then what
I
happens?
mean, you can put
And
it
then
in
you open it.
microwave it.
Yeah, you got a
like-
little tear piece.
Let's see.
Uh,
and then what?
And then
I
you
don't
just
like
gotta
it.
pour
Like, I
out
have
into
Oh,
to
the
yeah.
I
pot.
don't like it.
I'm sold. I'm so sold right now. I can't wait to find it.
I don't like it.
Yep. It's at the Kroger that I go to, and it's also at Walmart.
It's not my favorite.
They also have like a cinnamon one that I haven't tried. You'll have to report.
I
back
would
to us on that
definitely
one.
try that.
It's supposed to be cinnamon and butter. I
Yeah,
haven't
I would
seen
try
the
both.
lightly salted. It's not at the store, so I'm gonna guess that's the reason why these
Yeah, fuck
pallets of
lightly
it.
salted.
I mean, I just picture like the fat AMC apes just like squeezing that stuff in their mouth, and I'm just like,
Ew! Maybe stop it. Don't
Okay.
ruin it.
She's
don't.
trying to break
this
my
is what
addiction
this is what's
right
happening
now.
in here, and it's not good. It's nothing good.
Don't ruin that extra butter. Okay.
This is cholesterol and
But also,
Plaque
I'm going to be.
in your
I
arteries.
got to promote my boys over at the AMC zone. That's where that came from. So,
where what came from.
there was a lot of melting down going on related to this earnings because it was not good.
They were melting down. I saw celebrations.
I saw also
Because
Well,
they
I guess
did
call
beat.
it cope.
They
Call it
did
cope.
beat on top and bottom
By
on the
10
expectations.
cents, and it was still negative.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
What I
they
guess
always
meltdown should
celebrate
be
when
the way to
there's
put it.
when they're
I
subdued. But I'm like, the
reject
expectations
cope.
are like
Yeah.
below
I
zero, bro.
I call Cope meltdown at this point because that's what they're doing. If you're celebrating that you missed by 10 cents and that you beat by 10 cents and still lost 47 cents a share, you need to fucking clue yourself in on
I'm not
reality.
sure that they know that. I'm not sure that they know that the parentheses means negative. Honestly,
That's possible.
that is possible.
I did
PSA
not.
parentheses means negative.
it means not good, bro.
If you're looking, this is always, I love it every time AMC earnings comes out when AFM blog brings out the comparison to Cinemark
He's the best.
because
Because they're like, why is Cinemark doing so much better? Like, look at them side by side. It's
Well,
Night
they
and day.
restructured their debt.
oh my god, it's
So,
terrible.
voila.
It's terrible.
That's what happens.
Look at their total stockholders' equity. But just look at that.
that's your big indicator right there.
Their deficit. Look at their
Wait, I
accumulated
can't
deficit.
see. Can you zoom in? I cannot
I
read a single
cannot.
thing on this.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
You
well,
can
I'll-
just zoom on your screen, can't you? I do.
Yeah, if you
Mm,
go ahead and do that, and we'll switch it over so we can get a better look at it.
I mean, look at their common stock. I'm sorry. Yeah, the difference in the common stock.
Also, one didn't have to do a reverse split, and the other did.
Well, yeah. But just
Well-
everything. It's just like
yeah, that's the
For
benefit
fuck's
of
sake.
restructuring your debt right there.
it's just insane. Like, where's your question? What's your question, Apes, on why this is a better investment than the other?
Is there a question?
I don't know if
Why
there
why
is
is
a-
it why is it trading well and our shitty stock is $2.70?
Well, what's the answer? Isn't it because they restructured their debt? Like, is there a different answer?
In my head, it's because all of them aren't in it.
Wasn't there
All of
also
what?
I
What'd you
said
say?
in my head, it's because it wasn't a meme stock and all of them aren't in it.
So
Oh.
also didn't like Adam Arno have a whole live stream where he had baggies screaming at him in the the space and all that
Live
stuff?
stream of the earnings call.
No, not a live stream of the earnings call. It's not a live stream. It's just an X space.
Oh
where they all
yeah, of
come in and-
that Security James guy who I don't even know if you guys know this lore, but like
no.
so he's claiming that the one from the radio from the ape radio
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So claiming him, Nachi, like all of these like, quote unquote influencers in the AMC community are all some sort of like JP Morgan employees.
What?
I cannot even tell you. Like that he said Nachi is connected to Bernie Madoff. I'm like, what year is that, bro?
Mm,
P.S. Like, it's not a secret who, like, their names, these people's names and who they are. And I can tell you 100%
They're not any of the things you think.
Not anywhere. Like,
He does not
and I
have
even
that
replied,
IQ
like,
score to work at
it's
JP
the most
Morgan.
ridiculous
Let's
thing
be
I've ever heard.
honest
Like,
right there.
the one knows little to nothing about finance or the stock markets. I'm pretty sure his wife is the only one who like even owns stocks. He's just here to play on the internet. Like, to claim that these people, and he claimed that he, the one, was the VP of Pershing.
Pershing Capital, really?
Yeah. And like, you know, that, and he has like some seat within FINRA and all this other stuff. And I'm like, the one who like can't even like, I mean, I can't. It's so stupid. But anyway, Arno had him on, and he's, you know, talking about his big reveal that's coming of all of these
They always have these big
influencers.
reveals.
Look,
Let me
here's
guess,
the,
2
like, here's the
weeks?
thing is, like, I think they've just, like, their stock's trading at $2.70. It's literally, I mean,
Oof.
worse
Literally a
than-
penny stock, pretty much.
There's nothing for them to talk about. So they literally just make shit up.
Just it's the same thing that happens in the MMTLP
And start
community.
shit
They
with-
all just start shit with each other because they have
Yeah.
nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, and like the shills don't really talk about them anymore. Nobody really cares about AMC. And like I just think they there's nothing left for them to do, so they're just gonna turn on each other.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's not highly entertaining, but it's truly like I listened to it. I was in there as a listener for a while, and I listened to this guy drone on about this shit, knowing that the person he's talking about is literally in healthcare sales. And like, I'm just, like, they're like all the people in the chat were like, Amy comes in like a wrecking ball. Cause I'm like, you're an idiot. What are you saying? Like, you're just making shit up. What are you even looking at? Like, these people are just not a secret.
So
They
you were
have
like
said
it,
who
like
they
when
are.
Ethan popped in on that one space.
Well, because like I'm listening to it and I'm like, I can't. It's so stupid. I
See,
can't listen to it anymore.
See, there's the difference between you and me. Is after a while, I just turn it off and I go home because I can't listen to it either.
Well, I got,
except
like,
I have the
12
opposite reaction. I'm
messages.
just like, I'm done listening. To
Yeah,
these
like I got like
preaching
12 messages of
baboons.
everybody like sending me the space, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening in here? And so I went and listened, and I was like,
This is why I'm glad most people don't
This
even
can't be
know I'm
real.
around on X
this can't be
occasionally.
real. And
Oh
it's,
yeah,
like, it's
somebody
really-
actually like texted me or DM'd me about was like, is that Korax in the space today? I was like, yeah, obviously.
But yeah, it's like
so-
you couldn't have picked dumber people in the AMC community to say are some sort of plants here from JP Morgan. Like,
Definitely not.
joke.
So
We're here to tell you
Soika.
that
I think one of them is Chris
Definitely
Soika,
not.
and like, you know, that
that was
Vonnie,
the other thing is
that
a
Vonnie
bunch
chick
of
has
them,
been providing some sort of service that this Space G dummy was like, oh yeah, it was suggested to me that I pay her for her services. And blah, blah, blah. And I
oh,
was
you mean like a bot thing fucking down in the
dang, like this is not real stuff. Like, seriously, like society's
falling
so
for the
screwed.
bots on X. Alrighty, that's okay.
I mean, just like
I like how now
it's
that
really
this has
hard
come
for me to
out.
believe that people are this stupid, but it is like I see it, and that's upsetting.
I like how this has now come out and everything, and I saw a bunch of them, especially for the little brief bits that I heard from that I could tolerate from that space that Arno was. Now their narrative's changed. It's like, we're not going bankrupt now. It's not about the fundamentals. We're going to burr. It's like, well, I was listening to Chris Soya. I thought it was about the fundamentals, guys. It just keeps changing whenever they need the narrative to change.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like, you know, like what can you? I mean, like you can be mad at Chris. A, for his fashion choices, and B, because he doesn't understand fundamentals. Yeah, because he doesn't understand fundamentals at all. Like, you can be mad at him for that, but like, I don't know how you say we have watched Chris Soika's videos. We have watched him on his whiteboard, and you're going to tell me that that's a
that you
finance
can't
guy?
see because his camera's too far
It's
away from the
not.
fucking
It's-
whiteboard.
Well, you know, if you think about it, maybe he is trying to push misinformation to change people's minds, right? Maybe he is a
Maybe
bot
he's an AI. Maybe he's one of these Reddit AI bots.
Change their
That's what
minds
I'm
to
saying.
what?
to buy AMC.
Well, new conspiracy, guys. Please spread this, everyone on X. Chris Soika is not real. He is an AI bot. He
I believe
is
it.
a psyop. He is an
He
Adam
is a
Aaron psyop.
There we go. He is a psyop.
Deep fakes. Chris Soika does not exist.
Like I don't
He
buy
definitely
it,
does
bro.
not know what death spiral financing is. I can tell you that much. Like he like draws a spiral
of
and
them
he's
do
like,
not.
like.
Speaking of
This is what
a
I'm
company
talking
that
about. This is what I'm
suffered.
talking about. You're telling me that Chris Soik is at JP Morgan drawing fucking spirals on a whiteboard? No, he's not.
That's how good he is.
Oh, I
So
just
speaking of a
can't.
company and death spiral financing, you brought this to our attention, Platinum.
What's this?
Settlement as far as the emoji.
Emoji.
Oh God. Yeah, speaking of death spiral financing. Oof. Yeah, so this is done basically. Looks like they settled.
Like from what I understand was the appeal of the attempt to basically get the class certified failed, and the next day,
Right.
by the way, we're settling. They were
Yeah,
done.
exactly. Well, because since they weren't able to do like a class action, I mean, obviously Baratia was going to continue suing Ryan Cohen on their own, right?
Mhm.
And then Ryan Cohen was like, "Yeah, no, I can
Best
afford
to just get this done.
make
with
you
now.
guys go away."
And while they
Right.
were waiting for the appeal, they probably were in talks about that, which is why
Right.
it came so quick.
Exactly. And so once they, now it's over.
Yeah,
And that's
because they could have taken him and gone the whole way, and I think both parties were just
Absolutely.
like, we really do not want to do this.
I mean, this has already been going on since 2022.
2022,
think- Yeah,
because
like
it was filed
2023.
right after. pretty
Like
much.
right after, yeah, like September 2022. So it's
Yeah.
been going on for a while.
This is Bratya, right?
Mhm.
Right. Like this was actually the lawsuit that like Clorox, you contacted me and you were like, "Oh, do you want to do a space about this?"
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck is all of this?
Right. And so like that was like our first
This is the short,
Twitter
right?
space.
Wasn't he was short, or was he? What did he have? Like something with options?
Well,
right?
they were long, and then they were like selling calls on their long shares and talking shit and blah blah blah. But then they were trying to say like, this was Emoji Gate. This was the one about
Mhm.
Okay.
there was a moon.
There's so many.
That meant we should have been holding. Whoa. Like no, you guys, if you see a moon, it means
Like
nothing.
I can get
okay?
where the judge was on the motion to dismiss, where it's like we would need more evidence to adduce what the person was trying to communicate, but on its face, you could make the argument that they were, so we can't get rid of it at the motion to dismiss phase. But all of us are just kind of like, Ryan Cohen just kind of does stuff because he's just kind of silly. Like
Yeah,
he said multiple times that he doesn't send secret messages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And he said like he literally like just fucks around on Twitter. He's not seriously tweeting anything.
That space was hilarious.
I think he's talking about the AMC space.
Yeah, I know.
Which one?
The one where I was telling them that they're dumb.
Aw.
Telling them the obvious.
Wait, was that the one where you were putting like how much? Because there was some AMC space that I ended up like requesting as a speaker just so I could put something in the nest of like
Yeah.
percentage lost.
Yeah, because I saw you in there like before I left.
Yeah, like once you, because they were like freaking out about something that you said about like if you lose like 98%, this is how much you have to gain to like get back to zero. And so I'd like put a chart in there of like, okay, you guys, like if you lose whatever percent, this is
They
how
don't
much
care,
percent
though.
you need to. No,
And like, and there's a way, like, I mean, I guess you can buy back, but like your original exposure, but like they don't care. This is the hero to zero crowd. So I mean, it doesn't even matter
boy.
to tell them what percentage you have to get back. They don't care.
hero or zero, but then when you end up with zero, you try to tell yourself
Cry and
stories
bitching
about
and
why
whine
you're not at
about it.
zero.
Yeah, you call Congress and harass the shit out of them.
Or you read teddy books and pretend like you didn't end up at
Yeah,
zero.
or find your theories in children's books.
that leaves us with one Ryan Cohen lawsuit, which we have gotten Ryan Cohen's answers to the complaint against him. We're not going to go over the whole thing because most of this is just going line by line in the paragraph and responding individually to each, which is one of the things that I hate about these answer filings.
Oh, is this the Bed Bath & Beyond one?
Yeah, the one about the swing trade.
The
So I figure we
16B,
get
yeah.
preliminary statements
Is
and
it
we can
16B? What is it? 15?
Yeah,
What
it
is
is a 16B. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
Cohen-
in the case that got dismissed for the shares being deleted, so the case was considered moot. Like Bed Bath & Beyond tried to replace the plaintiff in that case, and they said no, you can't do that, but you can file your own lawsuit. So then they did. And that's what this
And
is.
then they made it past the motion to dismiss, which surprised me.
In this one also.
Yeah, because that's why he said
Yeah.
an answer to the complaint. See, this was the one I was surprised they got past the motion to dismiss on. I
This is
figured
the
it
one
would.
where they made it past the motion to dismiss only on the not on the director by deputization, but the owning over 10%, right? Yeah.
Correct. They're basically saying that, there's some allegations here that they think are kind of mischaracterizations or everything. They also give their disclosure that they can come back and respond on this if anything changes at a later date. And like I said, they're going to go line through here and basically respond to each and every paragraph, which this is why I don't go over this entire
Yeah, this is boring.
response because it's
Right.
tedious. I want to see where's the line where they actually respond to the actual claims.
Well, this is Cohen's response, right?
Yep.
Should be down here near the bottom, right?
I mean, he did in fact own more than 10% at one point.
Well,
right?
the thing is, you need to own more than 10% and then buy and then sell
Okay.
within 6 months for it
Got
to,
Yeah.
for you to be on the hook for this type of shit, right? But he didn't do that. Like he bought, then became a 10% owner and then sold. So it shouldn't count. But
So here it is. Response to prayer for relief. The statements in plaintiff's prayer for relief can constitute requests for relief, which no response is required, except to the extent the response that the Cohen defense deny the plaintiff is entitled to any such relief. They're going to be fine with jury. If the plaintiff purports to demand jury trial, but reverses the right to challenge this demand. Affirmative defense is a separate, distinct defense. The Cohen defense alleges follows. By alleging the matter set forth, the Cohen defendants do not thereby allege or admit that the Cohen defendants have the burden of proof or the burden of persuasion with respect to any of the matters that's pretty. First defense, the action is barred because the FAC fails to state a claim against the Cohen defendants upon which relief may be granted. Well, that got slapped. So claim of relief is barred under SEC Rule 13D1 because the Cohen defendants did not know and had no reason to believe that the information contained in Bed Bath & Beyond's most recent quarterly or annual reports was inaccurate. Plaintiff's sole claim for relief is barred under SEC Rule 16.2a because the Cohen defendants are not liable for transactions predating the date which they previously became directors, like you said. And plaintiff's sole claim for relief is barred under Section 23A of the Securities and Exchange Act of 1934 because the Cohen defendants acted in good faith and conformity with the rules and regulations of the Securities and Exchange Commission in effect at the time of the purchases and sales issued. So that's their responses as far as those claims. Oh, yeah. So we can sort of stop this clock because this is from the 8th, so that would have been 2 days ago. So 65 days. Well, we did get a response to at least one of the subpoenas, so we can partially stop this clock. Sort of, kind of.
The protective order for Schwab.
Yes, the protective order from Schwab, which is pretty much a boilerplate protective order. I'm still surprised we didn't see any return of service or anything on this.
Well, I mean, the way that these folks are behaving and the shit that George tweets out and shit like that, I'd get a protective order too.
Well, and there's information here that
It's financial information.
Yeah, that no one should be able to see. In fact, we
Proprietary
already
trade
have
secrets,
baggies
like,
making
all kinds of things.
regulations on it. And it's like, dude, this like if it's like we've talked about this in previous lawsuits, like the Pulte's law, a defamation lawsuit, where if there's certain financial information, you can exempt it. And these same baggies can blackline stuff dealing with the bankruptcy, like. Everything has to be a conspiracy. It's like, no, there are legal rules and precedent for protecting people's private information that has nothing to do with.
I don't even know that it's people's private information. I think it's more of like proprietary trade secrets.
Well, that too.
And things like that.
Yeah, stuff that has nothing to do with the litigation and shouldn't be public because people could steal it or whatever.
Because it's none of their fucking business.
Yeah. But like, it's pretty much a boilerplate protective order. These things aren't things that should be public consumption, and so they shouldn't go on the public record. We'll still know them if they're meaningful to the case, but as far as the general public,
it's like their pursuit to find like
anything,
naked shorts or overages or whatever bullshit they spew.
And I think it's going to be pretty much like what happened with the Sorrento case. I know I came in kind of late to when they were doing all the discovery as to that, or it was kind of in there, but like the whole thing that happened with Sorrento was they did all this discovery and then whoopsie daisies, nothing really happened with it. Like there was briefly some, like it is kind of the exact same thing as Sorrento, because, you know, you had Wes come in for Sorrento and then do a bunch of this discovery, and then nothing happened with it and just kind of all went away, and they got liquidated anyway in the bankruptcy. And it'll be the same thing here. Like I had this discussion when I was on there this morning, and Platinum was on there with me. It's like, I think that this is just a way the space
on
that
the
Austin
tweeter
was holding.
Oh.
Where we were discussing it, the three of us, and I said, I think that this Wes has found that he's getting slapped around in the courts where he's been narrowed down the way he has, where, you know, these naked short cases, he can't really bring them anymore. These cases where it's about spoofing, he's being narrowed down so far, and it's really hard to prove. And a lot of these companies, instead of settling, because there's so many of these lawsuits, they're fighting them now. You go into bankruptcy court, you get a judge who usually on a daily basis doesn't deal with securities law or any of the security stuff, and you can set precedent in here that you can use elsewhere. And, you know, the judge is going to be a little bit more lenient with you, as opposed to being defensive, because it is an adversary. Everyone here is trying to find money for the estate so that they can pay their debts. So it's going to be like, well, let's go down this road and see if we can find something here. And if there's nothing, like, who was harmed by this?
Well, that's like on that quantum guys, like that CEO. Like I'm like, there's a flaw. There's a big flaw here in your spoofing case, right? Like, he's not even counting. Like, it's spoofing is, you know, making orders and canceling them, right? Like, and he's putting up like total amount. I don't even remember what it is. You can probably pull up my tweet. I can't even remember.
Did he block you yet? Or?
Yeah,
I don't know if he blocked me or not. I know that he would go on a blocking spree after Ham told him to block all of us. Or
No, I tagged him in something to ask him.
That's what I did too.
I wasn't like adversarial about it.
I never am. And he blocked me.
I can pull up the
Well, that's
tweet.
because these people just can't handle criticism at all. They're here to try.
It wasn't even criticism. Ocelot was literally asking a question that was in their last financial report. And I had tagged him and was like, I said, oh, those are good questions. And I said, tag whatever his name is. And I'm like, will you be transparent and answer them or whatever? And block.
No.
Here, I'm going to share this.
Whatever. Like they had some LLC in their last financial report that they were going to give a portion of the proceeds of their lawsuit to, right? And so
oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
So Ocelot was like, okay, will you let us know like who's behind this LLC, and also like what percentage of the
that's the sports code LLC.
Right, yeah. And I'm like, oh, those are good questions, like, hey, tag the CEO. I'm like, oh, will you be transparent and answer this? Block.
Yeah.
Wow. So you don't want to talk about the potential that you're getting paid to file these lawsuits, huh? About that.
There you go. So I just said, here's the flaw in your case, sir. The CEO monitors for spoofing by employing a data analytics tool called the OTR for order to trade ratio. If a participant ratio is too high, they will be in violation of penalized. Here's the handy dandy reports. By the way,
Oh, I had that
They're
on my
not-
list of things to do, so we'll just handle it now, and I'll delete that off my list.
what?
I had it on the list of things to talk about. But
This?
we're talking about it now, so
Okay.
we'll
well,
just.
anyway. So and there's reports on there. You can see it. I said just like the SEC does. I said the OTR formula is the number of orders submitted divided by the number of trades executed. Calculations show the number of total shares ordered versus the total number of shares purchased, which doesn't make much sense considering spoofing is based on the number of orders placed and canceled. Your table below shows that there was high volume or interest of selling of the stock, but not a high volume or interest of buying of the stock for the relevant time period. I said market makers place multiple orders on both the bid and the ask to facilitate trading. Not only are they allowed to do this, they're required to. Here's the SEC's detailed explanation of the NASDAQ Market Center rules. Enter SEC. Perhaps this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the market works, or maybe it's something different. But what is shown in your suit is not spoofing. We have a far more complex system than what I read in your suit. That seems to be an ongoing theme among CEOs claiming naked shorting and spoofing. Anywho, hope this helps. So I gave him his chart, which
we were laughing at this morning that he was claiming like 96 basis points.
Number of episodes, shares in baiting orders. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if this is coming from West Christian. I don't know. But like, I'm like, what the fuck is a baiting order? Like, anyway, so that's his thing. And then I put, market participants may submit multiple quotes and orders at multiple price levels, which NASDAQ manages and displays consistent with the parameters of each quote or order. NASDAQ timestamps each order or quote upon receipt, so on and so forth. So his response, is, where did he respond? Here. Thank you for your comments. Leading industry experts have provided their analysis in our case.
Leading.
Which ones?
West Christian's a leading expert. Okay.
Leading industry experts. But anyway, based on the analysis provided by the law firms, have decided to take our case on contingency. Okay. And this was my favorite response. This guy here. Is she right? It's so funny. And Grok's basically like, and we can get to the summary of the Grok conversation. It's pretty funny. This Grok breaks it all down.
Jesus, Grok. Oh my God, that is too
yeah,
much
Grok
information.
goes,
What are you
goes
doing?
in it, right?
Just yes or no, please. It's a yes or no
Let's
question.
examine her points, right? Is she right? Yes, Amy's correct that the SEC and other regulators use OTR as a key metric to detect spoofing. High cancellation rates, standard market making behavior. Amy argues that the high order necessarily evidence of spoofing, but are consistent with the role of market makers. Is she right? Yes. Amy's largely right here as well. This was just my.
They don't like it when they're confirmation bias.
This is just my personal
just
opinion, where I said that
cuts back.
Amy suggests that the quantum CEO may fundamentally misunderstand how markets work. And it's partially. Quantum's complaint does show a potential misunderstanding of market mechanics, as Amy suggests. For example, their focus on share volumes rather than order counts misaligns with regulatory definitions of spoofing. And then it's basically basically the rest is opinion, which fine, because it is my opinion. While Amy's critique is strong, there are a few points Quantum might still have a case. So this is saying how they might have a case here against naked shorting and intent and patterns. Expert
That's
analysis.
the key thing that they always forget, that Grok is at least pointing out, that intent is the key thing here that's missing from any analysis.
Well, and Grok even says here, that, quote, leading industry experts analyze the data. That's not proof of an expert. Just let's put that right. Conclusion. Is Amy right? Amy is largely correct in her critique of Phantom blah. So anyway, I thought that was really funny. because you know that they were doing that to.
There's literally zero chance that person read that response.
Right.
They saw it was not confirming their bias and was
Right,
like,
probably.
And there was
But I was
way
like,
too many words there.
this is funny. Like, is this going to be the new game? Because that's going to be fun.
I know. I love how Grok is like, well, yeah. Sorry.
I'm about to get
We're-
heartbroken.
Like, Grok is a shell. And Grok's like, sorry, I'm not even a shell.
did you guys see that one person who, when Grok said something they didn't like, wanted to know if they could sue Grok for defamation?
Yes, that was
Oh my
MMTLP.
God.
That was MMTLP. But oh shit, I just forgot my thought. Never mind. I got distracted. Yeah, it just was pretty funny. Well, that they would think that I would like post and not like, this is kind of an ongoing theme, right? Like I'll usually post like the reference to what I'm talking about. Like I don't just blindly go on and be like, right? Like I usually check it and then I will cite what I'm talking about. And I always have, right? Like even going back to AMC and insiders selling, like it's just funny.
So our next lawsuit on the slate is the Bullinger Motors one that I only recently have been paying attention to. So apparently, to break this down, Robert Bullinger, for which the name of the company was named after, basically is suing to breach a contract and to get a conservatorship over Bullinger Motors because his debts haven't been paid back, and that the company was not being given enough money to operate and pay back its debts. What's that on here?
Didn't they actually get that conservatorship?
Yes, they did. That's what was at the end of this, that they got the conservatorship. Conclusion for the reason stated in the
Yeah,
order.
so like R.I.P. Mullen. Because didn't they have a deal with Mullen? Wasn't that their
Yeah, and
whole-
Mullen was supposed to give them funds and everything. Like that's the whole reason why they were arguing for conservatorship, because Mullen was supposed to give them a certain amount of money to pay their bills and do things.
Yeah, good luck
And
with
Mullen
that.
was giving them the bare minimum.
Right. Like, I mean, we know from the Gem lawsuit that Mullen is not very keen on paying anything
Anything to anybody.
to anybody.
Yeah. Other legal remedies are inadequate. Plaintiff's property will be lost without a receiver. So basically, they're going through fraudulent conduct. Defendant's controlling shareholder gives rise to some concerns. Evidence put into the court. Mullen has failed to call a board meeting. Yeah, that was the other big one. It's like, Bullen. I think they said there was 5 board members of Bullinger Motors, and 3 of them are Mullen shareholder or Mullen representatives on the board, and they would not respond to calls for a shareholder meeting, but a board meeting. And since there's 3 of them of the 5 and you need a majority for a board meeting, that means they could automatically veto any board meeting that they didn't want to fucking have. So anytime someone like the CEO called for a board meeting, they would just not respond, and then they couldn't have a board meeting. That was craziness. They're citing the jet yield.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Greatness. I love it.
I
Moreover,
mean,
plaintiff presented
that's what we were just talking about.
that Mullen's funds are disappearing. Mullen is apparently now subject to a federal court judgment
Well,
and a restraining order.
Yeah, Bullinger was saying that they thought that Mullen was trying to do everything they could to be, what was the word? Like not, like judgment proof. That was the word.
Yes.
That they were saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the entire situation with the Bullinger Motors saying they're going to get the receiver. We're still going to have to wait for the charges for breach of contract. But
I read somewhere today that Mystery does he only have 1 share or 2 shares of Mullen?
no, I think he has more than that. It's
Didn't he have,
just
like
that
16 or something?
yeah, but those have super voting powers.
Because
so
of all of the reverse
Mhm.
splits, he ended up with like 16 shares or
Mm.
something.
Interesting. Oh, the common stock. You're not talking about the other like
I think so.
super majority shares. I wouldn't be surprised. Not like he needs the common shares anyway because he has the super voting shares.
Right.
But
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever known like his like insider stuff. So what does he have?
I'm not for sure. You'd have to look at their most recent.
Not very much though, right? Like of
No.
No.
Our
like, he
next.
doesn't get shares and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Kendall about that one. I'm sure he has everything.
Oh, the guy's been arguing with the DRS dummy.
We'll get to that in a
my
sec. Oh boy.
God. Good luck with that.
Finishing
Like,
up
don't
on-
even bother. This is
Yeah,
really-
like I can tell you that like I saw one, well, not even one share of Mullen anymore. It's like
Me neither. My one share is
0.0001.
gone.
Yeah.
They took my
The,
one share. Goodbye. Forever.
on the lawsuit front, to wrap things up, I think we got this and like one other. Rite Aid files for bankruptcy again, guys.
Is this like number 3 or?
This is number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
I mean,
Right.
and how long though? That I mean, not very long.
Mere
between.
months, like maybe half a year since their
What?
last.
Yeah, I remember
What's
the
the
last time
issue?
when like Michael AME was pushing for Rite Aid.
How's that working out for
Part of
you,
the
Slick?
Karitsu or whatever the fuck. Yeah, their shares got canceled too. Gone.
What's interesting about this one is I
I mean,
went to look for the.
their like brokerages just must be a graveyard.
Oh, literally. Just like canceled shares galore.
So I went through. I tried to find the first day hearing. I haven't seen it yet. There's another hearing that's been ordered here for 6/5.
Did they
Most
say
people
what
got
happened
angry.
this time? Like what's going on now?
That's a great.
I'm pretty
question.
sure the last time it was like partially due to the Purdue Pharma lawsuit, right?
Yeah. Let's see if we can find
Which,
the chapter. 11.
Like I've been watching that like series on Netflix lately. It's actually really good.
That's just the petition.
The one about Purdue and that whole
Mess.
bullshit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Missing schedule, motion schedules. No, we need to find the what is the statement about the bankruptcy from the debtor's entry of interim motions. Yeah. Declaration. Here, this might be it. Declaration in support of debtors' motions for relief. Debtors' privacy policies. Okay. Sale or transfer. Okay, I don't think that's kind of helpful. Declaration, bidding procedures. That's not going to help us. Declaration, chief transformation officer, debtor in support of Chapter 11 petitions, first day motions. This is probably the one we want. Let's look at this. Why is that eschewing it? Stop that. Introduction, Rite Aid. Okay, this is the one because it's going to explain the business. Yeah, we know about Rite Aid. Rite Aid's history as a business. Thank you. Don't need it all. The 2023 case. So that's the previous bankruptcy. Corporate capital structure.
Yep. So the bondholders became the new shareholders, right?
Mm-hmm. Petition of ABL and Philo.
Rip.
The senior
That doesn't look
secured
good.
I
note.
didn't even know that. They didn't bring it back public, right?
I don't think so.
No, they
No.
didn't. They kept it private, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was wasn't it Sixth Street that owned it?
Here we are. Need for these cases. The Chapter 11 relief, including a timely sale, is critical to maximize value. Okay. Unforeseen challenges have stunted Rite Aid's efforts to reposition the business. So it sounds like increased competition and tightening economic situation seems to be the reason why they're front-end vendors were unwilling to return to normalized trade terms following the so after the bankruptcy, they're like, so you were in bankruptcy and you seem to be having problems. We're not going to renegotiate our contracts with you. And they're like, wait, what? Come again?
Oh, it was Hudson Bay Capital, actually, who filed a 13D disclosing 8.6% ownership of the newly emerged Rite Aid. That's what it was. Hudson Bay.
Faced a structural shift
Our
in the
favorite
markets.
death spiral financiers.
Rite Aid customer demographics, including low and fixed income customers. Historically, these customers visited Rite Aid to obtain prescription drugs and frequently used the opportunity to purchase high margin household goods and other items from Rite Aid's front end business. Upon emergence, however, customers purchasing these products from brick and mortar convenience stores waned significantly as Rite Aid was viewed as a higher cost provider of these items. So just overall business deterioration.
People don't got no money.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about that later in this episode.
I mean, we say that about like all of these could be like CVS. Like I feel like they definitely charge more than like.
Well, all of them, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, are all kind of like they've got this like convenience store kind of model where they get you in the door for the prescriptions, but everything in the store is super expensive. And why would I do that when I can go to Walmart or Kroger and get better priced goods and also get my prescriptions pretty fucking cheap?
I have admittedly spent more on something at CVS just because I didn't want to be bothered going somewhere else.
Yeah, well, that's their entire business model.
It works.
But if you can get cheaper medications going to the pharmacy at Walmart and cleared at a decent amount of time, why not just buy it there where everything else is cheaper at the Walmart?
Right.
That's what I think is killing their business model, because they, like they said right there, a lot of their business model are these sort of low income families that go in to the CVS, the Rite Aid, the Walgreens, and they get their prescriptions at a cheaper price. And then they go through the store and they pick up some chips and a frozen pizza that's way more expensive than it should be. And then they leave. But that seems to be the big problem that's going on there with Rite Aid, is they just can't reposition their business. I know we were talking about AMC earnings, and I know this is kind of a nothing lawsuit, but we're all about covering nothing lawsuits. AMC currently has a lawsuit out of the state of Nebraska where they're dealing with an actual takings clause, not a fake takings clause issue, where one of the malls that they're operating out of is being redeveloped. And the whole premise of their lawsuit, this one was really interesting because they filed it in state court. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, state courts don't have jurisdiction, send it to federal court, bye. And so they had to start all over again.
They want him out of there or what?
Yeah, they want him out of there, and I think they kicked him out. And AMC is saying that it violated the takings clause because they didn't give them, fair economic value, because the whole thing about eminent domain is that you have to give fair market value if you're going to evict someone via eminent domain, and that's the whole argument of the lawsuit. So fun times. Kind of sucks that they wasted all their time in state court only to get kicked over to federal court to start all over again. Also, what court uses this font? This is so weird. I'm used to like Times New Roman or maybe Arial, but like, what is this font? Someone help me out here. In the comments, maybe. I don't know. Got to turn off my phone's vibrate, so I don't want that making all sorts of... There. Done. Goodbye. So, yeah. Not the only AMC adjacent lawsuit that we're going to be dealing with, though this is the last one. So it's been a while since we talked about our budding Nelson Willis.
Yeah.
So he's on appeal in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, trying to appeal the lower court decision to dismiss the case for failure to state a claim because the previous case was non-suited. So last time we talked about this case, he was wanting to add more to his appellate filing and it was denied. And so he made a motion for reconsideration, which also was denied. In the interim, he filed another motion on the second here. Yeah, is it this one? Yes, where he filed a bunch of no, I don't think it was this one. Oh yeah, this is the one that talks about it though. So he filed a bunch.
Even fighting? Like what?
He's fighting to have the motion to dismiss overturned and remanded.
Oh my god.
So he basically had something they put into the docket where I'm gonna talk real talk for a second. If you shotgun 5 different motions that all deal with the same thing, they're going to make those all one motion and just deal with them all because they're all dealing with the same thing rather than just this shotgun thing. So he got really mad with the court clerk for doing that and told them that he wanted it corrected and that he was demanding demanding supervision from the Supreme Court because he thought that the clerk's office was conspiring against him.
Oh my gosh. And you know who fed him that bullshit.
Look, the
You know
clerk's
it.
office, if there's something that they don't know about or they don't think looks right, they will call up the judge and ask. And the judge will tell them this is how you'll do it. So more than likely, he's throwing this big hissy fit about how the clerk's office is trying to conspire against him. And really what more than likely happened was the clerk's office called the judge and the judge said, do it this way. So he's like, going all sorts of circles here.
I mean, he's
the
gonna
exhibit.
have like hanging out with Ethan, the slammer.
Oh, you have no idea. Speaking of Ethan here. So he asked then for a motion for summary judgment, which is also hilarious because newsflash, dude, bro, this is an appellate court. There's no judgment.
So, what is his case against Aaron?
For
Malicious
unlawful
prosecution.
prosecution, unlawful detainment because of the restraining order and emotional distress.
Jesus.
So I hate to break it to you, dude, bro, but there is no such thing as summary judgment in an appellate court. They aren't judging on anything. All they can do is remand the judgment.
What does he want? Does he want money from him?
Probably. He didn't give a specific.
I mean, what else would he want? AMC shares? Like, what's he gonna get?
Nick.
So maybe I'll deal with this another time. But we also got Adam Aaron's appellate brief where he responded to. It's pretty much the stuff he said in the lower court. I may go over it in an edited video, but I think we can.
What does he say? I don't even know what he says. Can you just summarize it? TLDR?
The TLDR, he basically says, please uphold the lower court's ruling because this guy is a soft-sit lunatic. What's even funnier, before we get to the court's ruling on this, we get what was produced in one of the other documents, which is Nelson Willis screaming at an appellate court clerk. I hope you're ready.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
Oh boy.
Do I need to turn the volume down?
Yeah.
Way down.
Let me refresh it. It was, there we go. I think that's him tapping on his phone.
That was me.
Oh, that was you? Okay, well.
Is it in your headphones?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't
it's
hear
because it hasn't started yet. There's a little bit
Oh,
here, and I
okay.
don't want to
it. Oh,
flip it too far and overshoot. There's about a.
yeah, we wouldn't
gap
want to miss
here.
that.
Hey,
There we go.
Rebecca.
Oh god.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Nelson Willis.
Poor Rebecca.
Hey, I just got that email that you guys filed, 57, and then with a series of exhibits. I sent all of those motions. Those aren't exhibits; those are motions to be filed.
I understand your point.
Yeah, they're being buried.
Because,
They're
sir,
being buried
sir,
under that.
Well, I was
Being
instructed to process the document that way. That came
Why?
from the clerk. I have no answer for you other than the question was asked because we were unsure of the specific relief that each of your...
For the record, it was filed as a clerk's order, which, again, a clerk is allowed to do things under the authority of the judge, or the judge could have told them do it this way, and that's why it's filed as a clerk's order.
Documents.
He doesn't
was
grasp that
requesting,
fact, though.
So that went to the clerk for guidance, and I was instructed to file the documents as such.
Yeah, that's not the intention of the filings. They're
No one gives a
individual
shit.
filings. This should be numbered 57, 58, 59, 60, 61.
I understand your request, but those were my instructions, and I have to follow the instructions.
Okay, well,
of the
all right. Well, this is obstruction of my case. All right, you guys.
It really fucking isn't, though, bro. It really fucking isn't.
Denying me my due process.
Mr. Willis, may I...
You're not even filing my documents as I send them in.
Sir, I'm filing as instructed. If there
Well,
is
no. You're filing per her interpretation, and that's not
No, that's not how it works in the clerk's office. I'm just going to say that right now.
not fair. That's not what I intended. These were not
May I
labeled as Exhibit A.
let you speak
They're not
briefly?
labeled in the email to ProCA5 CA5 email inbox. They are not addressed in that body of that email as exhibits. They're individual files.
Rebecca is just like
May I suggest that you speak
really
with the
upset
case
that I have to take
manager
this phone call.
if you have any issues?
Rebecca's handling this way better than I would have. I'm just going to
I
say
know
right
Rebecca
now.
has a lot of patience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they've clearly dealt with this person before. Is my point.
Yeah, this is the only recording we have, but clearly not the only conversation they've had.
Yeah.
Issues with this because I am processing filings as instructed by the clerk.
Okay, well, you're talking to me now, the plaintiff appellant. Okay,
Correct. Yes,
and
sir.
you guys are trying to engineer my case behind my back. Okay,
Oh,
and I
God.
can't have that happen. All right, I'm building my case strategically, and you guys are.
Yeah, you're strategically trying to paper the docket with 5 separate filings that could have easily been one filing because you're trying to waste the appellee and in the lower the defendant and the court's fucking time with your nonsense that you were probably directed to do by another soft-sit moron, Ethan, who's admitted that he's helping you with this case. This is all specifically being designed by you to be a piece of shit. So let's get that straight. That is your strategy, to be a piece of shit.
And to undermine me. I'm filing
Undermine me.
strategically. I have a game plan, and you guys are taking
Yeah, that game plan is to be a piece of shit.
my game plan and saying to hell with his game plan. He is nobody. We are the Fifth Circuit Court.
Okay, sir.
And this is
I
what's
mean,
Sir?
yeah. Yeah. Glad you caught on. They're doing things legally. You are a pro se fucking nobody that doesn't understand the law, which has been quite clear. Yes, they're going to direct you as to how they operate their court. Get over it.
I cannot.
I'm not being
accept
belligerent.
your
I'm defending my rights. I'm standing up for my rights. I don't have anything personally against you or anyone else there. I am protecting my.
I know this is going to come off really mean. Platinum, have you listened to Homestar Runner before, Amy?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna be the lone person here. He sounds like Homestar. That's all I'm saying. And if you know the joke. He sounds like Homestar.
rights as an appellant in this court, and I am being sidelined by this clerk of the court who thinks she knows what I'm doing,
All right, Homestar.
and she does not. She has no idea. She needs to file my documents and let the defense reply to them. She has
Listen here. You need to do what I say, woman. God damn. Oh.
overstepped her bounds, and each one of those filings is to get a hearing on this situation with document 55, and that is blatantly obvious in every one of those filings, and you treat them as exhibits to bury them. This is obvious collusion and
Okay, look, if they were put on there,
Oh
as
my
exhibits,
God,
there's still
collusion.
motions that are going to get a hearing. They're going to.
Who
go
are they
before the
colluding
judge.
with? Who are they colluding with?
That's a great question. The ever
No,
anonymous.
who is the
they.
court colluding with? Who does he think that they're colluding with?
I don't know. He never says. It just screams collusion, like Ethan. Like he doesn't need to name whoever. It's just collusion.
Conspiratorial behavior against a plaintiff, appellant, pro se litigant. And that's exactly what is happening. And it has been done to me through the United States District Court and the 235th District Court. That's where this whole case began, in the 235th District Court of Texas. And then I moved it over when they filed a fraud.
Having worked at a call center before, this is just the point where you just let the guy just
Yeah, I'm just
have
waiting
his
for her to
moment.
be
You
like,
shut the phone down. You
Yeah.
can hear him still yelling. Once he's done, then you pick back up the phone.
just waiting for her to be like, are you done?
non-suit to evade discovery, which everyone in every court is doing their
Sorry,
best
Rebecca.
to hand on to the false filing of that, the false nature of that non-suit. It is too late. It is beyond a procedural release of that case, and the judge never signed an order. The case, I froze that docket intentionally and moved it to the United States District Court. And what did they do? They went ahead
There
and
was an
treated
order,
me like
though.
I didn't matter and tried to
There was an order. Like there was an order. Like it was ruled on, and the motion to dismiss was granted, and then you appealed it. So
a fraudulent non-suit. It dismissed my case on a 12B6 based on the false misrepresentation of their interpretation of what a non-suit
Do you
is
think
and
Ethan's
when
on
it should be
three-way right
filed.
now?
And that is the bottom line.
I don't know if it's so much a
Like,
false
do you
misinterpretation.
think Ethan's like listening in right now with him?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but
I mean, he's
possible.
rattling this off pretty good. So
Probably he was given some written notes beforehand. Also, like,
of this appeal, and I will set a precedent with this case. And you guys are trying to undermine
see,
me.
that's the funny
and now
thing. It's
it's
just like they gave him citations, like every court does, as to the law. But he's just gonna ramble off like, "Oh yeah, trust me, bro. I'm gonna change the precedent of the entire federal court system as to how they handle motion to dismiss."
out in the open. You filed, and I filed document 56 right after, and
He's not listening
it's
to him
more
at all.
evidence of wrongdoing by Judge Danelle Haverkamp, which she denied by 45 and 50, which is all crime, and you're denying my evidence. because-
Another
Rebecca- like,
Ethanism.
Rebecca
It's all
went out-
crime.
Rebecca
All
went out to
crime.
have a smoke. She's like, "See, okay, buddy."
relates
Sounds
directly to my case in the 235th District Court and the evasion of discovery
Would you like to
and
speak to
why
a
they
manager?
evaded discovery. Okay, I'm being treated like a third-class citizen in this court.
Oh.
I am the plaintiff.
I mean, you fucking should be. Be
Rebecca,
quite honest.
And I am in control of this case.
Did Rebecca
and
even
you
say
guys
anything?
are undermining
You,
my...
didn't
you
even
clearly
reply.
are not in control of this case. Let me tell you something here, buddy. Oh my goodness.
filings, and I need these filed in order how you receive them individually. They get their own docket number. That's exactly what the email says. Not one word about an exhibit in any of that. And I need this done immediately.
It's fucking
And
bad.
sir, I'm afraid that will not happen.
Why not? Give me one
I-
valid reason. You're on a recorded line. Give me one
Oh,
valid
you're
God.
on the recorded line. We got another
See you in federal
Ethanism.
court.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm gonna depose you.
I don't think she gives a fuck.
No, clearly.
reason.
Because I was instructed to file the documents as such by the clerk. of
Okay,
this court.
get that
If
clerk
that's
on the
not
phone
good
with us
enough,
right now.
No.
I'm going to have to transfer you to my case manager. I cannot transfer you to the clerk. Case manager. is-
Great call there, Amy. On the I'm not transferring you to the clerk of court. Go
Yeah,
fuck
no.
yourself.
Angelique Tardy. So hold on.
Okay,
just a minute.
just get her on the phone with us.
Yes, sir.
Just-
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't have conference availability. I can only transfer you to her. But I will preface the
This
call
will
with-
not stand. This will not stand. And you're doing no. This
I
what
bet it
this
will.
is. What this exactly is, Rebecca.
It
And
will.
you know I'm right. You're stalling. This is a stall tactic. You're doing this because May 7th
I'll see you in federal court. Oh wait.
is right around the corner, and you're waiting on the brief, the response to my brief from the defense, and you're doing this as a stall tactic to delay, because now you're making me go back through hoops to get a filing done as I sent them in to you. These are not exhibits. They are motions. The title is motion, not an exhibit. How are you doing this to me with a straight face? How are you deceiving me with a straight face? Yeah, you go ahead and end this call, Rebecca.
Is he gonna threaten her?
She had to have a supervisor that came over because she just threatened to end the call if he didn't fucking calm his fucking tits. Because that's the only way they let you do that in any sort of setting like this. Is it like if a supervisor comes over and it's like, yeah, he's being belligerent, you can cut him off at any time.
Because I'm going to come down there to that court. I'm going to drive to your court. I will be there.
I would like to remind the class at this point that this is the dude who did the same thing at the state court and got hauled off to fucking jail for for basically causing a big scene at the fucking courthouse.
You know
just
what?
like
At this
Ethan
point,
does.
like, let him do it. Go to jail.
Good.
Straight
Go to
jail.
federal jail. Have fun. Have fun in federal prison.
For the 7th. And we will, I demand that you guys immediately.
He let fucking slip that Ethan's helping him in the background there.
We will.
Get the judges involved. I'm gonna finally get the Supreme Court supervisory role initiated in this.
Oh yes, please tell us more about how the Supreme Court is going to take certiorari from your dumbass.
Hey,
that'll be the day.
That's exactly what I'm about to file for. A sororatory or whatever you say it.
Oh,
it's certiorari, you dumb shit. Fucking. If you don't know how to pronounce the Latin, you can go put it in Google Translate. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm going to get the Supreme Court supervision on this case right now. You have been notified.
Oh, you're on notice.
You're on notice.
Mm-hmm.
You're on notice now.
You're on notice.
Oh, my God.
Escalate this, Rebecca. I swear you better escalate this because we are not playing games.
This isn't a fucking call center. You don't get it. There's no escalate to the supervisor. There's no, like, taking you and transferring you to retentions. This is the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals, and they don't deal with dipshits like you. They'll just tell you to fuck off.
Over here, and you are not steering my case. I am in control of my own case, my own destiny.
Oh yeah, you're in control. Yeah, tell us more, Homestar. You're definitely in fucking control of this.
And you guys are trying to undermine my case, and you've already done it blatantly with the clerk order of 55, and you denied 45 and 50, which is clearly related to my case. 1,000% related. That is a bullshit tactic by that court.
1,000% related. Did he get fucking Mark Bazile in on his case? No,
in coordination with the defense and the appellee, the powerful Mr. Adam Aaron, and that's what you guys are protecting. And you're protecting Citigroup, you're protecting Ontario Capital, and everything that I have filed is evidence that would trigger a DOJ investigation and a grand jury indictment on everybody listed in this case.
Clearly not.
And you are subverting my case. You are doing this deliberately, and I have this on record, and this conversation will be aired in court. Thank you very much. And you have...
He said thank you very much like he's in front of the court giving closing arguments. What the fuck? This is so pathetically
Who
cringe.
posted this?
He put it on the fucking docket. He put it as an exhibit on the fucking docket. That's how I found this. Him and Ethan. Here's evidence of my contempt of your court. Here's my evidence of my contempt of the judiciary system. Here, right here in black and white. I'll even put a fucking transcript on the fucking docket for you and a link to it so everyone can see how much contempt I have for your proceedings in the system. That I'm demanding, nay, saying that I am owed some sort of something from. I'm just going to give you 2 middle fingers and expect that you do exactly as I fucking say because reasons. That's how much of a fucking asshole him and Ethan is. Like, they think they deserve all this shit. They don't deserve jack fucking shit. They're petulant little children throwing toys out of the pram. I'm glad I got some popcorn for this moment. I was kind of kind of
Wasn't
well
there an
deserved.
Ethan call too? I didn't listen to it. I think you posted it. but I didn't listen to
Not a
it.
new one recently. I've been.
What was the recent
slow-
one, or the one that you just posted not so long ago? I can't
That was
listen
from
to
a
it.
year ago. This time when he called Miriam Tauber from the Antara swing trade lawsuit.
Okay.
I've been re-uploading some of the old stuff bit by bit.
Got it.
But yeah, yeah. This is his new apprentice, and he acts exactly like him.
It's crazy.
If it wasn't clear what the court decided, let me fill you in here. So we got this Friday. Let me zoom in on it a little bit here so you can read it. This is directly from the clerk of the court. Yeah, this is the clerk. Dear Mr. Willis, we received your appellant's objection to appellee's brief. Any objection to the brief of appellee must be incorporated in the reply brief of the appellant when the same is filed. Appellee's brief has not yet been processed. Therefore, the deadline for reply brief of appellant is not yet set. Accordingly, we are taking no action on this filing. Wah, wah. All that blowing all that hot fucking air, saying all that shit, spilling all that ink, and the court tells him, "Go fuck yourself." Amazing.
Well, Rebecca was very nice.
Rebecca was very nice. She obviously has her job for a reason. She knows how to do it, unlike these two fuckwits. Anyway, we are moving from our meme stock lawsuits to our meme stock discussions. The first one, speaking of Ethan, I'm not going to spend a whole time on this video. I just wanted to briefly, he was talking about the, is this the one? I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Oh yeah, he was talking about his recording, and in here somewhere, he was talking about the recent, he's stalking the people from like Antara and all these different things and posting on their LinkedIns, you know, just because, Ethan, he loves catching them stalking lawsuits and those harassment charges. So, if you
Did
Did
have
he
about the
make
ba-
it?
what,
Wait,
about
does
the
he have a
bankruptcy?
LinkedIn just to harass people, or is
Yes,
that
he
his
does.
actual link? Okay, wow.
that's his actual LinkedIn, and he's going around to the different Antara people's LinkedIn to fucking harass them on LinkedIn.
About what? About the bankruptcy or what?
Well, about the lawsuit now that they're closing up shop. He thinks that they're trying to close up shop to get away from the lawsuit that he's bringing.
No.
Yeah.
You're lying.
That's his entire video, pretty much.
What video?
Because the back end of this video from his YouTube page, this is the Miriam Tauber thing where he was screaming at Miriam Tauber for 25 minutes that I posted. This is the exact back end of this recording. This whole thing is about how Antara's closing up shop so they can get away with what they did. See? There's the Antara article from Bloomberg. Sob Sid Ethan on the march.
Because of his nonsense that they're declaring bankruptcy to get out of like his
Well, they're not
shit.
declaring bankruptcy. They're just winding up shop, right?
I mean, not bankruptcy, but yeah, they're just closing the fund. But
Yeah, they're just closing up the
and
fund
he
to get
thinks
away from
that's
Ethan.
because of
Him.
yikes.
Him, obviously. Why else? Obviously, the bad actors are fucking scared of some sob sit loser from New York. Obviously.
I mean, the mental illness is just like
Off the charts.
unbelievable. Like I can't even. Not even worth commenting on anymore. It's just sad.
Well, if they'd stop, we'd stop having something to talk about.
No, that's not true. Because shit like the wolf pack follows it.
Oh, follows Ethan.
All of them. Like there's no shortage of financial stupidity on the internet.
I have to get to this stranger danger video. I've already showed it to Platinum. She knows
It's
what's
been a long
coming.
time since we've seen old Morantz. What's this guy up to?
This is gonna be a great case study in Marantz. Get ready.
Oh my
I don't
god.
need to prove myself to nobody. I got something that makes you think twice, bro. Yup.
Oh,
Yup.
no.
That's all. You know, I don't have to fight that fair fight anymore. Those years have come and gone. I ain't got shit to prove to nobody.
He
You know
just
what I mean?
whacked a gun.
You know what I mean, Chili Bean?
Yeah.
Straight out of
live stream.
Costco.
Straight out
mean-
of Costco.
It's
Great.
embarrassing.
Perfect. Couldn't have lined
I'm
up that joke any
embarrassed.
better.
I'm embarrassed for you.
With this like Minecraft pig in the background.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my goodness.
What is happening to these people?
He's a bigly badass. You don't want to fuck with Marantz. Nope. Not a guy to mess with.
I mean, and like you know that like that's not where he keeps that. You know it's not.
Oh yeah, he clearly scripted that ahead of time.
He
Yeah.
put that there. Like
Oh yeah, no denying it. So we haven't ever had Frankie Muhammad on here, but he's one of the AMC baggies. This is from his video, "Why I'm Leaving YouTube as a Content Creator." You guys want to take any guesses why?
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
No idea.
It's Frankie, man. Let me say I'm an entertainer on social media. Some of the information in my videos may be factual. Some of it may not be factual.
Well, I'm glad he at least admits that up front.
So you always want to do your own research when you watch my videos. I'm just an entertainer on social media. Look, bruh. This video is gonna be about why I choose to no longer be a content creator on YouTube. And look, bruh, for me, there is nothing more important in the universe than truth.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm on a platform where I'm going to be restricted from being able to tell the truth, then
Okay. That's all I needed from his video.
Who's restricting him?
Nobody. Let's
Who's
be honest here.
Who's restricting him?
Oh, he thinks they are restricting him because he's telling the truth, even though he
Who's
just
they?
admitted that he isn't truthful all the time. He's moving over to Rumble full time, which I realize that I do have my live streams now channeled over to Rumble, but let's be honest here. Rumble is a platform compared to YouTube. Kind of shit. Like, as someone who started out on YouTube I had my first channel back in 08, 09. The layout feels very much the same and very dated. And obviously, because it's a secondary platform, you're not going to get as many views. That's just a fact of it. Like, I don't get as much views on Twitch as I would on YouTube. I don't get as much views probably on X that I would on YouTube. It's just a matter that YouTube is the top platform. You're not going to get the following. And let's be honest here. A lot of the meme stock people have all had drop-offs, like regardless of if you're on my side of the discussion or not. Like, I started out, like, I would get regularly closer to 1,000 views with 1,000 subs. And it started to really drag down, especially when doing live streams, because, you know, even a smaller proportion of your audience watches live streams. And you can even see that if you go to go look at, Matt Coors, who I don't particularly like. Like, he's got 80,000 subs, and he gets maybe a handful, a couple thousand views per video on his videos. You go look at some of the mainstream people on the AMC side, CSI or any of that. They get maybe barely 1,000 views, and he has 15. Go look at someone who's way more credible, like Tony De Niro. He has the same problem. This is a problem that happens to everybody. No one gives a shit about meme stocks anymore. So the people who were talking about them or still are talking about them, they don't get the views that they had anymore. So it's not that you're being suppressed. It's that people don't give a shit anymore.
Damn.
So that includes me.
You're not being suppressed. Your tweets just suck.
You're not being suppressed. People just don't care anymore. Especially with someone who's as low budget as his.
Yeah, I have no
I've
idea.
never
He's a
even heard
grainy
of
ass
what he's talking
webcam. He
about.
doesn't even do screen share. He holds his cell phone up to show things like dude.
Yeah, what is this?
That
I've
worked
never
in
even heard of this
2008
person. Like,
when
who-
YouTube was first coming
who is
out,
this?
but that don't work now. So like Frankie here has like 4,000, so about 4,500 subs.
Does
and
he come
getting
from like the trade
150
trades
views.
era?
Maybe a little after. Let me check when his oldest video is. First video was 6 years ago. So wow, he was doing videos even before the meme stock era. They weren't getting a whole lot of views, but
like,
yeah. And didn't start talking about meme stocks until, let me roll back here, 3 years ago. So right after the squeeze. So he was before even the main stuff happened. So yeah.
he's AMC.
Mm-hmm. Primarily. I mean, he talks about others like GTII and things like that. But,
Oh,
Of course he does.
terrible.
but like I'm saying, like
The least.
it's not about you being suppressed. It's that no one gives a shit about the content anymore. Nobody. Except crazy people like us. We were talking about Travis earlier and the whole DRS thing. I mean, he was talking about QNTM, but he's also talking about how Fidelity apparently just doesn't like DRS movement. No, it's just a pain in the ass to move things to DRS.
Like, it's so funny that he's calling like this other random transfer agent a real transfer agent because they don't have any brokerage services. Like, you're not able to buy or sell from there. So somehow that makes them
Which one?
real. Whatever transfer agent that Quantum
Share?
has. No, not Computer Share. Because Computer Share is like one of the biggest.
And you can
transfer
buy
agents
and
that there
sell
are.
on there, right?
You can, exactly. Because they did acquire a brokerage service and
Yeah.
that allows them to be able, people to be able to buy and sell from there. And then this other, like, I don't know what transfer agent that they use.
Oh, apparently he clarified what? What does that mean?
Who did? Clarified what?
Yeah,
Who's she?
Travis.
And what did they clarify?
Clarify his way out of a paper bag.
Don't flip there. Why did he clarify? Let's find out. Let's see if there's.
Clearly, he's just trying to push quantum, which is so stupid. I mean, you guys, do you not know what a revenue?
Well, and
It
we
is
talked
wild.
about like I saw the post by Kendall here, which was a really important one that he pointed out by
I'm really
Monday.
I'm really starting to think he's really an accountant. I think he just works at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't think he does that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said I'm really starting to think that he's not an accountant. Like I think he just works at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't think he's their accountant.
more
know.
stripper, less accounting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of those weird fights at Chuck E. Cheese. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I think he's in the weird band.
He clarified that they are a transfer agent, yet publicly traded or something. Okay.
But update as to the Mullen share count. So as of Monday, they had 20.
Hold on, go back. So basically, what happened here was 6 days was. Oh no, Travis actually was trying to say that everybody should buy one share of Mullen before the reverse split.
They're gonna prove
And
it.
Travis hopped on the bandwagon.
Like,
well, it
who
was his
in
idea.
their right fucking mind? Like, they have issued like some triple-digit quintillion amount of shares.
230.
Who is
Yeah.
saying this is naked shorted? Like, are you
Only
kidding me?
the company is doing more of the shorting than anybody.
Yeah, like, are you fucking joking? Like, they've issued, I didn't need like quintillions of shares. Like, this might be the dumbest naked short
In
like,
just 3
conspiracy
years.
theory yet.
It's actually insane, right? Like, it's like the stupidest one ever. I don't think any company has issued more shares than Mullen. It's
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like in the history of the stock market.
well, or in the last 3 years.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, that was the update there. That was as of Monday also that whole like 28 million share and a half million shares. That was Monday. It's Saturday. They could have sold a whole
What is
week's
it
worth
now?
more shares.
Yeah.
We don't know. We just know whenever they update the filing. So they last updated on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, what was it when Travis had his bright idea of everyone?
It was
buying
10
one share?
million.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was
Right.
like 2
And then it
million,
jumped to
but it was
17
10.
million
Okay.
by the end of that week. And now, new week, 28 million.
See, that's the thing. And even if everyone did buy one share, you know what would happen? I can tell you because I bought one share the last time they had a reverse split. Well, actually, the time before the last time they had a reverse split. So 2 reverse splits ago, I bought one share. And guess what happened?
They just
It
gave you
just
the
got
money
removed from my
value.
account. And that's it. Never seen it again. Gone forever. There's not even
And
a
technically, the
transaction for
language
it.
that they should round you up is still in there.
Yeah,
But
well, nothing rounded anything. I
Right.
just got nothing. So that's what happened to me.
Okay,
I
but the
mean,
language I read said that fractional shares get rounded, not whole
Yes.
shares.
But it would be a fractional
well,
share.
technically,
depending
it
on
would be a
reverse split.
fraction of a share after the reverse split.
After the reverse split. But so where does it say that after the reverse split, if you have a fractional, they're gonna round it up?
I'd have to go look up the language again and dig it up from Kindle. But yeah, that
I
was the
think
same.
it's saying that if you have fractional shares, they will round. But then I thought that.
But the
even
first
went
time
away.
they did round it up. Like that was the
Right.
whole Genie trick.
Right. If you had fractional shares, not whole shares.
No, they had whole shares, and when the reverse split, it turned into fractional, and so they rounded them up.
Yeah,
That's
like if
the-
I had 1.5 shares, they would still remove my shares and I'd get nothing.
I thought it meant that that if you were holding fractional shares before the reverse split, like I don't even know. I guess you have to look up the language. I don't get it. Because like 6 days, whatever, dummy, was like I'll have 250% of the, was he saying value? I can't even remember what he was saying. But I was like, what are you saying? You're saying that like because you're DRS, you're somehow going to 250x? Like that doesn't
What they're
make any
really
sense.
trying to do is they think that if they get enough people, they can, when the reverse split happens, have more shares than actually exist.
Like if
In which case they
Mullen
can just
didn't
issue
dilute
shares.
anymore, they would have a bigger percentage. But that's not what happens with Mullen. They
No.
dilute constantly.
Yeah,
Like you're
they
not
just
going to end up
they
with
just
a
give you
bigger
more
percentage
shares.
ever.
I think their whole little glitch thing, they think that, well, if we have more shares than would be the actual float after the reverse split because they have to round up, then question mark profit, like
Profit,
like,
exactly.
like the South Park meme, except that Mullen
Exactly.
can issue more shares out of the treasury because they reverse split it down.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I don't know how this hasn't, like, regulators have not just.
because they're technically not doing anything illegal, they're just dumb shits. Technically. I don't know too much about this. I just saw this pop up today that apparently there's someone roaming around on stock twits masquerading as an
investor
investor
relations. Yeah.
making
I'm sorry,
posts
just
on
yawning.
on stock twits and things like that. I don't know. I doubt very much that it is. Like, I mean, we have like the Game Informer guy. I like having confirmation of statements that I was just presuming and guessing.
Wait, last reverse split.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see proof of that.
What is faux? Faux what?
I think he means fuck off.
Oh, really? Jeez, damn.
But
Well,
like,
good luck with the next one.
We'll see.
I mean, like, has anybody posted proof of that?
I haven't seen it yet, to be honest.
I mean, all of this arguing that's been happening
Not
on
to
Maine and
deny
nobody's posted
either way,
proof of
but
it.
I just haven't seen it.
Oh, for
Oh,
those with
with
one,
one
share.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were saying fuck
So
off.
yeah, they'll just issue more out of the treasury. They,
sounds more,
Like,
sounds more
okay.
reasonable.
hey, yeah, Amy, you need to stop assuming the people in the chat are just assholes.
That actually makes.
I
more
know
sense.
they are a good portion of the time.
Mhm. That makes more sense to me than finishing the sentence.
Yeah, I mean that's
Um,
what I thought would happen to my share in E-Trade, but it's not what happened. So
It's not what happened to the one share that I bought.
yeah. So I mean, if it happens for other people, then good for them. Enjoy
I'm
that
gonna
dollar.
skip
Make that
over
dollar.
some of this stuff because there's still some more important stuff than meme stock stuff I want to get to. But this I wanted to get to because I just found it funny. So we got a company we're talking about from April 22nd doing fuck tons of dilution, and we finally get the fuck around and find out from the NASDAQ. And we're starting to see a lot of this from, I think, the NASDAQ is that you're gonna see some of these death spiral. They're not even death spiral finance. It's just dilutive shitcos that ruin investors getting delisted. Which I don't know if that'll exactly solve the problem, but it's a step in the right direction. But our main event of the meme stock shenanigans is I did some research, guys. I did some research. So I saw this post by Toilet Cleaner about the everyone.
Oh yeah,
on
the Fannie
on
Freddie Reddits.
Yeah, subreddit.
Not privatizing it. If you watch the Milken interview, he like did everything to sidestep that landmine.
Yeah, they even admitted in one of the posts like nothing new, Pulte at Milken, no catalyst. Like they were completely disappointed that he knows nothing and said nothing because he's a know-nothing idiot.
Well, and the whole narrative. I mean, I said from the beginning, like he is wholly unqualified for this job. A, B, like their whole narrative about, oh, Fannie and Freddie has fully paid back the treasury and da 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 da, and like we talked about the preferred shares and all that stuff we talked about long before any of this. And Pulte at Milken, that's all he did was confirm all of it. No shit.
Wait, do you use Reddit in light mode? Is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
He uses light mode for anything. It's insanity.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you for apologizing. I barely accept that apology though.
I grew up in the 90s. Everything was light mode. I use it. Shut up.
My eyeballs.
I know. Like, do you wear blue light glasses?
It also helps with lighting the room because if I turn it to dark mode, then it kind of lowers the entire set. Lighting.
You're gonna wear your eyeballs out.
That doesn't bother me any. There's gems of quotes everywhere. Look, this guy is more than likely to fuck us every time he opens his mouth.
Of course. Yeah, these aren't BBBYQ investors, right? These are mortgage and housing, whatever they're doing. Like, these are not the same people you're going to get to go stand in an airplane hangar and drink warm Coors Light and water.
Wait, he changed the name?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't change it, but like he the way he was talking about it, like he in his tweets, like he was
Okay, because that's what I thought too, that he keeps calling it like federal housing, like FHFA, when like FH already means that. What's happening? Do you not understand what that means? What's going on here?
Right here. I forgot to upvote it.
Oh my God.
Can't see it.
Pulte makes Pete Hegseth look like Bill Gates.
Nice.
Like,
look at is People Protector Travis?
No.
Yeah. I mean,
it can't be.
But I don't know.
I think I follow I get a kick out of Travis. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's funny.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Like another big thing that they brought up is like he's trying to act like DOGE, where he's trying to find all this fraud and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
When like
he's just firing people for working from home.
The whole interview was like buzzwords, MAGA, buzzword, fraud.
I forgot about this.
Like,
they even found some of the old,
like not even original.
They even found some of the old
No. What'd they say?
Oh my goodness.
Excellent.
Let them go down the rabbit hole on Kais there. I'm sure that'll make their investment feel more sound.
Wait, what did they say there? What were the comments?
LMAO.
You hopefully busy doing paperwork to get the twins released. You really think they trust Pulte with that task? And then IMO and the picture. So they are taking the piss out of him at every turn, talking about how, this is a company that already operates fine, and here he is dicking around trying to make it look like he's the one that's behind all of its success when he's clearly
He made
fucking
himself
not.
the chairman.
Yeah, they even brought that up. It's like, if you think it's anything other than self-interest for him and him alone, then you're kidding yourself.
Of course it is.
Like, the more they see Pulte do, the more these people who are actually invested, and given I have a little bit of a stipend here, but it's more of just like I think a bunch of people are going to get all like meme stock excited for stupid reasons and not actually look at the company. But like like almost every post is like, every time this dude opens his mouth, I become worried about my investment, because that's Pulte. He
Rightfully so.
just doesn't fucking anything.
I mean, the old shows aren't on here, but like, I mean, I said it way back then.
Okay. I'm gonna pull that up 1 second so I can flip around. So on a transfer, come back here, popcorn. Transfer from meme stock.
We actually forgot to mention, because I know we talked about metamaterials way at the beginning. Did we mention how they hired Share Intel and they're paying them the $60,000 a year for the subscription? Did you see that?
Who did?
Is that in the bankruptcy filings?
Yeah.
Could you look that up?
When did they do that? Wait. When was that?
Hold on, I'll find it for you.
They have a subscription service for $60,000 a year?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, in the bankruptcy, they're already a creditor because Metamaterials owes them $30,000.
It's a good thing MetaMaterials doesn't have a lot of creditors, because the only people this is fucking is the equity holders.
Oh my god, so many stupid.
So is Mullen, People Protector. So is BBBYQ. So is all of these stocks.
Oh, there's another proof of interest for Greg McCabe too. All right, hold on, let me. Okay, let me share my screen so I can show you real quick.
I think we have time to get a refill. Take her away.
Ta-da! So they're requesting an order authorizing $60,000 payable to Shareholder Intelligence Services, LLC, aka Share Intel, for a 1-year subscription to its services as described below.
Can you please describe their services? That would be great.
Yeah. Okay, as part of her investigation into the affairs of Meta pre-bankruptcy financial activities, the trustee has employed Contingency Fee Litigation Counsel, which has expertise in the area of manipulation of publicly traded stock, including to yada yada. Toward that end, and to fulfill her due diligence obligations. Okay, this is talking about the subpoenas to all these yada yada. To understand the extent of some of the stock trading problems involved in this case, litigation counsel recommends that the trustee subscribe to a service. Of course, they recommend this, which is able to provide a by broker analysis of imbalances, potential counterfeit shares of Meta shares, which a broker has sold or purchased during the several years leading up to its Chapter 7 petition. Several years. I mean, they were only public since like 2021. Share Intel is able to provide on an every 2-week basis the number of shares beneficially held by the broker compared to how many real shares it holds at the depository trust company. All right, so services provided by Share Intel. So they offer unprecedented access and insight into broker-dealer, clearing firm, and shareholder position movements. Share Intel's data repository information link, drill down trademark process is specifically designed to arm the company CEO with tools to avoid common pitfalls of poor investor communication, which can lead to inaccurate perceptions about the company.
This sounds
False-
like
Where are they scraping this data from?
mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, where are they scraping this data from?
So if you look, you can actually look at their what's it called?
Website?
No,
Prospectus?
not even that. Like their I can't think of the word right now.
Pitch deck?
Whatever. Let me just finish this. False perceptions, if not effectively countered in a timely fashion, can permanently undermine investment banking efforts, lead to negative analyst reviews, and cause adverse shareholder trading behavior. This behavior ultimately contributes to increased market volatility and frequently impacts a company's market capitalization. So this is all just marketing, okay? Like they're just talking about the marketing.
Yeah,
of the
that's what I was
company.
getting from that.
Oh, the patent. That's what the word is. If you look up their patent, you can see exactly what Share Intel is all about. Utilizing Share Intel's patent pending processes.
Patent pending. Oh,
Well, they already have a patent. Companies can proactively track equity flows and identify suspicious, aberrant, and/or unusual trading activity. Most importantly, Share Intel can offer the capability to historically aggregate repository data from reporting entities, broker-dealers, and shareholders. Without subscribing to Share Intel, your historic individual shareholder data and potential analysis will be potentially lost. Oh boy.
Sorry, real quick. Why is this the picture that comes up for Share Intel?
Where's oh, that's their office, right? Is it like some shack? Yep, that's their office.
real sophisticated operation operating out of there, huh?
Okay.
What we yeah, I mean you can go onto here and then see like the patent. But anyways, like okay, you get the point, right? Like what they're saying pretty much. And they're trying to get $60,000
for whatever it is they think they do.
For all of that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that too.
Awesome.
MMTLP is dead. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's canceled, deleted,
You're
gone
super dead, bro.
forever.
So we're moving back into the realm of things that are more mainstream and less meme stocky. You know what I appreciate?
Something on HBO Max?
Huh?
What?
This thing says Gaming Wall Street official trailer HBO Max. Oh, Gaming Wall Street?
Maybe something we'll have to get the popcorn together and watch. Probably off YouTube because it's probably copyrighted. Oh well.
Okay.
You know, a president pumping the stock market live from the White House makes me worried about the health and security of the stock
Wait,
market.
that didn't even work though. I feel like the market wasn't even up the day after.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was this? This was May 8th, so that was
Friday. It didn't even go up.
okay. So like the day after the FOMC, yeah, it was pretty muted.
I didn't
like,
even
it
see
wasn't
this.
down.
He said it again to buy stocks
Yeah, he
now?
said buy stocks now. I was like, hell yeah, because I'm a
Didn't he
VTI
do it?
baggy.
Didn't he do
I was like, pump it.
a bit ago when he was like, now's the time to buy stocks or whatever?
Oh,
It
yeah.
didn't work though. Not this time. It only worked.
Not
the
this
first
time. No. We also had a little bit of tariff talk from him, which will swing in there.
Does he understand what they are yet, or still not
No,
quite?
because he's saying that
yeah.
tariffs are the most understood thing maybe in the form of business anywhere. Oftentimes the country picks them up wrong. Oftentimes
my
the company
God.
picks them up. Sometimes people don't pick them up wrong.
Incorrect. 100%.
Very, very super incorrect. I have some data from the Fed to back that up.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah,
This
this
is
one right
sad.
here. What actions, if any, are you taking or planning to take in response to higher tariffs? And remember, they can select all that applies. But if we zoom in here, you will see that 54% responded they're going to be passing it on to the customer.
Yep.
Heck yeah. So that'd be a lie. Sorry. not so much. Oh, yeah, we also got like, and probably to the surprise of well, I mean, if you listened to last week's episode, not to our surprise, but the surprise to a lot of people probably that are the meme stock people, you've got Ken Griffin back out there again, talking that the Trump tariffs more or less are crony capitalism because certain people are getting favors and others are not. It really depends on how well you communicate with the Trump administration. One last thing, I think on the Trump. Oh no, I've got a few things. One, I think I discussed this with Platinum beforehand. There was a particular loophole here that Linus is going to explain that's getting axed or has been axed. That's going to be important if you're purchasing things.
Poll closes and things are about to cost more. You see, I think a lot of people didn't fully grasp the magnitude of the tariffs that are going to be hitting U.S. consumers. And a big part of the reason for that is that a lot of the new tariffs that have been announced don't sound that big. They don't sound like that much. They don't sound like a huge deal. But here's the thing. The big change is not necessarily the amount that the tariffs are or the categories of products that they're on or even the source of the goods that are being tariffed. The big thing that's going to impact consumers in their day-to-day purchases is the elimination of the de minimis exemption. So the de minimis exemption was, well, I guess exactly what it sounds like. It was an exemption on incoming shipments that were under the threshold of $800. And the idea behind it was that these small shipments clearly intended for non-commercial use for individual consumers were not worth the hassle of, dealing with handling all these tiny transactions for all of these incoming shipments, and also I guess a way to reduce prices for individual consumers. So for years now, there's been the ability for sites like Temu, Shein, AliExpress.
Is it Temu?
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was Temu.
I don't know. LTTstore.com to ship items that otherwise would have already been tariffed into the United States without them being tariffed, as long as the total order was under $800. That is gone. I believe, May 2nd. May 2nd.
So that's basically that all minimum shipments that we would usually be buying, like if you went to Amazon or Temu or all these places, they're getting tariffed just like everything else. Doesn't matter if it's under the threshold. So that's going away, which more affects consumers than the larger shipments that would be like, buying stuff from overseas to put in your big box stores.
When does it go away though? Do you know what the date is?
It said May 2nd.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Platinum has to get her Temu cart.
I was going to say, I've already bought from Temu since then, and I didn't notice any difference.
It may be.
You know what? They do have local warehouses also, so maybe.
And there may be some of that's still localized already before the tariffs, so you may not see it for a while.
Yeah, I just
got that's a lot of the things that
today.
we were.
Your what machine?
My ice machine.
Yeah, you were mentioning that in the
With
pre-show.
what? Is it like Sonic Ice or something?
It's bullet ice. It's very amazing. I love it. You get ice within 6 minutes. It's very good.
Yeah.
Bullet ice.
And what's really and so a lot of it's probably been onshore. Like we were talking about the Apollo study, they weren't expecting most of it to happen until later this summer. So you may not even see the effects of it for a while because a lot of companies have been front ordering in anticipation of the tariffs being pretty high, and so it's a thing that's going to happen. It's just a matter of when you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, I know this is anecdotal, so don't take it as fact, but this was coming from Colorado Travis, where he was talking about how he had made a furniture purchase, and some of it is not getting shipped out because he got caught in the tariff log jam. And this partially could very well be because the company itself didn't plan shipping it particularly well.
It's like the Sonic Ice. I don't know if y'all have Sonics up there, but
So he
Yes,
basically
okay.
has what he's calling Schrodinger's transaction, where his furniture is trapped overseas and they won't ship it because he's already paid, and then the tariffs came in, and now it's like, well, it doesn't make sense for us to ship it to you, and they apparently aren't doing the refund process, so he's just kind of stuck in limbo.
how can they not do the refund process?
I don't know if it's because he hasn't asked or like what's going on with that. It's really weird. Like I figure like that would be the easiest way to solve that problem, but yeah,
Maybe he just really wants the furniture.
maybe. I mean, in that case, I'd just go to local, like, Walmart or whatever. But
Well, it depends what it
maybe
is.
it's a
I'm
specific
guessing
model.
this is not Walmart furniture.
Maybe you got it off of Wayfair.
Yeah.
We did have some of the deals that came through. You mentioned the UK deal, but that one's mostly they agree that they're going to have a deal. There's nothing in hard inked on paper or anything like that, which it feels like, given all the shit Trump has been getting in the press about, the tariff stuff, it felt like it was something that was specifically designed to say, we have a deal. Don't talk about what's in the deal. They did mention a few things like that the 10% was locked in, which I don't know how well that's going to work for the other deals that they're doing. If they're going to lock in the 10% for the UK and they're kind of a favored trading partner, like what sort of incentive is there going to be for all the other countries that they've done this like 10% flat rate for, that they're going to want to crack a deal if they're not going to budge off the 10%? Like,
Well, I think that was always the deal, right? It was always going to be flat 10%.
yeah, well, it doesn't sound like the EU's coming to the table on that. China had talks today. In fact, there was a lot of speculation around that one. And DA's probably.
Probably.
You never know. One of the things that has been really sus, to get back to something that is the U.S. pushes nations facing tariffs to approve Musk's Starlink. Remember when we were talking about Ken Griffin mentioning crony capitalism and all that stuff? Well, there you go. I hate how this keeps circling back around to Musk. Like there's a definite
Correlation.
characters and relationship. Yeah.
Well, I said correlation, but yeah.
Parasitic relationship. I'd agree.
Parasitic.
Despite all
Can
this,
y'all not hear me? Are my headphones?
yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Despite all the exploding SpaceX rocket launches for its like starships, they were given the green light for 5xing their launches out of Texas. I don't know.
Do they
about
have DOGE in the FAA or?
probably at this point that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, getting rid of the so-called fraud, aka like any roadblocks.
When it turns out to be that they're just creating the fraud, they're the source of the fraud. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. I think we've kind of calculated that's what the situation is with DOGE. It's not getting rid of the fraud; it's just the fraud. I don't know if you guys saw this article. DOGE aide who helped cut the CFPB was warned about potential conflict of interest in his stock purchases. He gave him a middle finger and decided that he was going to continue with those purchases anyway. Companies included Apple, Tesla, and 2 cryptocurrencies that were all subject to oversight from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
What is this? He owns the stocks?
No, well, he owns it, and he was told it because they provided oversight. He needed to divest, and he said, "Go fuck yourself."
Okay.
The standard DOGE response, it seems to be at this point, whenever they're told that's not how this works in the government. I figure we'll bring this one up while I shuffle the deck around a little bit. Maybe you can talk about this, Amy, because there's a couple things going on with Kanye West this week. Well, promoting a shit coin, free Diddy coin or whatever. There was also his whole newest music release. We're not going to
Not playing that.
not repeating here. No,
I wouldn't even listen to it.
Yeah, I haven't.
No.
Though I think you had an important question, Amy, as to these recent developments.
You want me to pull it out?
Yeah, go right ahead. It's an important question. It concerns a government official.
Sure does. Okay. Let me share. My mouse died, so I have to use my laptop mouse. It sucks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I just said I wonder if Pulte still doesn't know if Kanye West is an anti-Semite and still thinks Adidas exec should be thrown in jail for separating themselves from Kanye. I said not shown. This douche saying he doesn't know how a picture of him and Kanye got pinned to his Instagram. I don't know. Do you want his deposition?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
Eventually I'll get the entire speaking of us of the deposition back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so just into that, and then the stuff about the executives should go to jail for canceling a good-looking shoe.
Oof.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. Like he didn't know, right? Like if Kanye was an anti-Semite, and
object to the form.
Object to the form of the question.
I wonder if Heil Hitler will change his mind on that or not. Probably not.
Well, seeing as it seems like that lawsuit's getting settled, I don't think he'll ever have to answer that question. It sure doesn't seem like the press is going to question him about it.
Yeah, like the docket's not been updated at all, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if that's
for a month now, like half a
longer than
month.
that. And I'm
But,
assuming they never came back to you on anything, so I think it's done.
I sent an email back to them on what I had access to and told them I'm still working with X, and they didn't even respond to that email, and that was 3 weeks ago.
I can't imagine that Brandon Jones. I think it probably cost him a pretty penny to get out of that lawsuit. Not Brandon Jones, Pulte.
Yeah. Well, we don't know yet because there hasn't even been an order filed with the court that they are dismissing the case. So
yeah, that's what I like. There would be something like about settlement or something, right? Like,
well, they wouldn't say a settlement, but unless they wanted the court to oversee if the terms of the settlement were violated, you'd see a motion dismissed with prejudice, and that the two parties agreed to the dismissal, and if there were terms, the terms would be stipulated in the order. And since we haven't seen anything on that, it sure seems like that they are still in negotiations. We do know the court date was supposed to be sometime this month, and if that passes without anything, I don't. I mean,
the last thing on there is that all the depositions were canceled.
Yeah, and that was back in March 25th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not
I'm
March,
guessing,
April.
like I said, Brandon Jones isn't gonna. And then, what about his case in Georgia?
That's still open. It's being stayed pending the Florida case.
Right. So, if he's trying to, walk away from it, I am going to guess that Brandon Jones is, it's not going to go quiet. He's not going to go quietly and be like, yeah, man, sure. Forgive and forget.
Yeah. Well, especially given some of the stuff that we've seen and talked about.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
Yeah. I don't think he will. Like, at best, Pulte will have to pay legal expenses. I think that there's a lot more there, though. I have a feeling. This one's a little troubling, in my opinion. The whole financial leaders see private assets coming to more investors' portfolios because what we need public investors investing in is more speculative private equity shit.
Sorry about the yawns.
Because we've seen like a lot of these like like ETFs starting to form. That's like investments into private equity is their entire thing. And much like Pulte's portfolio that he showed to the, when he was applying for his governmental position, a lot of that stuff, you can put whatever number you want to on there, but its actual value, if you sold it, is probably significantly less. That's just the speculative nature of PEs. Unless the company goes public, like the value is just kind of whatever someone else is willing to pay for it, and usually it's not a whole lot. And that's my trouble here is if you're trying to get more investors into private equity shit, like they don't have the equity to be able to have their portfolio fucked, especially when we've talked about on prior episodes that like a lot of private equity firms are hurriedly trying to get out of those positions and find exit liquidity. And that's the other reason why this article terrifies me is like, good, we found some dumb money to be exit liquidity. So yeah. We have an update in the Logan Paul v. CoffeeZilla lawsuit. This one's kind of an interesting one. So we've got the corrected motion. Last week when we talked about him restating the redactions, and they were things that looked like they were already redacted. Well, that may not have been exactly the case, because we had talked about previously the document that was filed, and it was completely unredacted. There was only some of the exhibits that were redacted. Well, that was removed from the docket per orders of the court, and this is the new one.
Oh my.
It's starting to look like a Mullen filing.
Wow.
So a whole bunch of stuff was removed from the background section. A couple other redactions in there. I assume these redactions were to prevent identification accidentally of the person, but there's a lot of stuff in here because when we went over this whole document, none of it was blacklined, and now it is. So I think we know what Logan Paul's objective was there, and he got exactly what he wanted. So guess I'm gonna have to find that old filing where I stuck it because I couldn't find it on my hard drive. It's probably on my phone somewhere. But yeah, those are niche, not allowed. Filing number 88 has been completely sealed, and now 96 is the new document there of that stuff. So I've not really been paying any particular attention to Bed Bath & Beyond, but I've seen that as far as the stock price is concerned, it's been kind of a dumpster fire. Have you been paying any attention to that, Platinum?
So I actually have been paying a little bit of attention because he did something where he was going to tokenize the revenue of the subsidiaries or something like that. And then he was doing an offering where if you already held Bed Bath & Beyond shares, like obviously BYON shares, then you could buy the tokens at pretty much half price than people that didn't. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that, right? So I have a couple of shares of Beyond, but then I ended up not even buying any of the tokenized anything. It was just...
Yeah, it was like a lot of that is just kind of a gimmick, more or less, right?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, too annoying to create another account or whatever to go and do it. I have a T0 account because I thought it was going to be there, but I still haven't even put any money in there. But it wasn't even through there. It was through something else. So I just ended up not doing that. But other than that, I mean, the financials are not great at all. It's just not good. I think Marcus is good. I like Marcus, but
he seems to be a no bullshit guy. He does no time for people like Michael and all of that stuff. But
I think he tries to tell it like it is, in my opinion, and he did a good job with Camping World. But so far, not so good, I guess, with the.
I think they're about to
overstock.
relaunch the Bye Bye Baby online store, right? I think I read that.
I thought they already did. Didn't they already
Okay.
do that or no?
I don't know. I thought I just read that this week, but maybe.
Oh, well, I thought they did. Maybe they didn't.
Yeah. The next thing that I had up to take care of was we do have a minor update in the Honey browser extension. As you can tell by the NRE, all of it's been consolidated. Like all of the massive amounts of class action cases have been consolidated into one Uno case. That was the case that was led by Legal Eagle. All the others have been consolidated into it. They're still shuffling around and trying to figure things out here with all these cases. There was, I think, a motion to compel based on one of the cases supposedly not wanting to merge, and then the person responded back, it's like, we have no problem with it being merged. That's what are you talking about, court? I don't know what's going on here. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on that they still have to get organized. These were all filed in like what? Yeah, late December, early January, and it's May, and they're still trying to figure things out. So it's going to be a long time before we even get to a point, because now they have to pick a class who's going to be the lead attorney for the class. They have to pick, with all these consolidated cases that are all going to be fighting over the right who gets the big paycheck at the end of the day by being the leader of the class of plaintiffs. Then after that, you've got to consolidate all of the claims, and some of the people have dismissed themselves from the lawsuit, which makes it sound like some of their claims are not going to be carried forward. So you got to have one organized complaint. You've got to have all this put together, and it's May, and they still haven't done all that. So we're probably going to be here a while waiting for this lawsuit to even get anywhere. I know we talked about that back in December when that stuff was starting to pop off. So, yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. Which I do think once it gets going, though, it'll be kind of interesting considering the claims that came out of it. We also had this week, did any of you guys watch the FOMC stuff?
No, I didn't.
Mm-mm.
Not
Too
that
busy with the
anything-
Karen Reed trial.
Not that anything particularly exciting happened. Rates basically stayed flat. The question and answer section I did listen to live, and it was really crazy because you know how Jerome likes to stay apolitical and just do his duty kind of thing. Man, since the rates were staying flat and all the tariff stuff going on, they tried really hard to get sound bites out of him, and he was just not having any of it. Talking about, well, you know, you've met with you know, every administration prior to this, even, you know, during Trump's last term, but you haven't met with Donald or don't have any future meetings. He's like, they come to me when they want to meet. I don't go to them. That's how it works. I know some previous Fed chairs have done it differently, but every administration I've been with, they ask for a meeting and then I go. I don't ask for a meeting from them. And so they were trying to make noise out of that. They were trying to make noise out of all sorts of different things. You know, they asked him about, you know, what effect does the tariffs have on inflation, which has an obvious answer. It does.
Right.
But
It's obviously
he's
going to
like,
cause more
we
inflation.
don't know specifically how much or what. And I'm not going to give you a quote mine here that you're going to take and run to fuck me over later. And it was just, it was 30 minutes of that. Everyone wanting their fucking soundbite from Jerome Powell. And he was just not having any of it. They even asked him about how you apparently are in good terms with Trump now. You know, do you still think he's going to try and kick you out? And he's like, the last meeting that I discussed about this, you know, I think pretty adequately handles how I feel about it, where he said not permitted under the law.
Right.
So like it was 30 minutes of that, which was kind of sad. You know, you got the guy that's the chief rate setter as far as the entire mortgage market, and here you're gonna debt market in general, and you're gonna be basically I think that's what everyone has the problem with, you know, the mainstream media in general. It's like you're not here trying to find truth, you're just trying to find stuff to plaster across the wall to fucking clickbait. The one last thing I kind of want to, I've got two things. So let's go with the important thing first, and then we'll have the funny thing. So I think briefly talked about Celsius previously, way in the way back. David Mystery, 12 years in prison for his crypto fraud. Apparently he was crying on the stand about how, he'd give his money back and all that stuff. And yeah, no, not having it. 12 years.
River.
Pretty much. The last thing I wanted to bring up is Bronco responding to the U.S. Department of Energy's drill baby drill meme with crude prices getting a U.S. shale. I'm in danger, which is true, because if you do look at the chart for this is the West Texas Intermediate, we're currently setting at below at 61.06, which if you line it up real carefully is really near the top right before the COVID crash. It's like right in this neighborhood as far as oil prices. So a little bit of normalization, but any further downhill we go from here gets kind of scary as far as, oil being kind of a predictor of economic activity, because, shipping, trucking, all sorts of stuff requires oil to do this. So a higher oil price might show higher economic activity, whereas a lower oil price might show you lower economic activity. But again, if you're also manipulating the supply of said oil, it might just, add fuel to the fire of other bad things that might be in the market. So I'm pretty much wraps this up for tonight, though. So
Stupid tweet of the week?
Yeah, stupid tweet of the weeks. Do you guys have one lined up? Because
let me get there.
I've had several ideas, and I just keep finding stupider and stupider tweets as the week goes on.
Ready?
Okay. So I may need some time to set up. Do you have yours, Amy, per chance?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Awesome. Let me switch to this, and then I'm going to close that for now, and then I'll switch over to yours.
We got a late contender coming in tonight, about an hour ago. You know what we did before and during COVID? We made money on shit companies. Posted lots of memes, laughed every day, and got stupid for it. That's what we're about to do now. I'm healed and locked in. You guys see that I never gave up, even when the evil DOJ and SEC tried to destroy me. Life is short, and I will eat their asses.
Ew.
Ew. Please don't. I don't know how to feel about that. That's just keep that to yourself. Platinum, do you have your?
Isn't it not over? Like, wasn't it just one of the
not
cases? Over. Okay, that's what I thought. Yep. So I'm sharing my screen too.
Awesome.
And here, let me zoom in a little.
Michael's trying to say this account's fake, by the way.
I saw that.
Oh.
Okay. Ryan Cohen, the Republican puppet, screwed me and Bed Bath investors. I put my life savings into 30K shares of BBBY, and I won't ever see a cent back. True. I put my face on WSJ to get nothing back while I struggle financially. Fuck you at Ryan Cohen at Pulte.
Notice never taking culpability for his own actions.
This is the person. If it's him, this is the person.
Not only that, he deleted
PFP.
Where
his
he talked
PFP
about it,
used to be him holding like wasn't it like a DRS certificate or paper certificate of BBBY?
Yeah. Yep. Like he literally deleted everything that he used to like talk about, because I did a search from me to him. So look, you can still see everything that I wrote to him.
Which kind of like.
But then you can see that he deleted everything that he wrote.
That's what I was gonna say. So it kind of negates that that's not
There's
a fake. That it's a fake account, because if it was a fake account and someone just took over
the
name.
You think Michael's doing due diligence? Are you okay?
But if somebody just like took over the name, the old tweets wouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah. So like you can see,
This-
like I was told he knew more about the situation than anybody. Like that's what I was told. But looks like he
The entire wall of deleted tweets. Oof.
didn't know shit about anything. Like even when he was lying about his links, like even that is all everything's deleted. Like
The link, what link?
everything is deleted. Like this is wait, March. Yeah, this is before they even went bankrupt. Day of bankruptcy. Oh man. Yep. So that's it. That's all I got.
But like, Ryan Cohen didn't do anything.
Didn't do shit wrong.
You tried to copy trade him, and then
No, they
And
didn't.
then hung around.
No, they
way
didn't because
longer.
he sold. And
That's what I'm
they didn't
saying. You
sell.
tried to copy trade him when he bought into BBBY, but you
Right.
didn't sell when he sold. And then you held it into bankruptcy.
Right. And made up stories the whole entire time about how he was still involved. And now you're going to be mad at him for those stories you made up in your head? Like, come on.
My stupid tweet of the week is this tweet that I found is.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you call this midweek?
Yes.
Yeah. This is actually
I
very
called
funny.
my shot. This one's fucking winning.
I think I called one too, but I don't even remember what it is because I saw
I
Zach
had a
Morris and I
different
got.
one. I think
distracted.
it was an AMC one, but I just
I think
was
I
like,
put it
nah,
in here
never mind.
somewhere.
So let's get a partnership with Nintendo of America, Nintendo Switch, as if they'd want to create an AMC Theaters, CO Theaters management game where we can create our own look and see what snacks and food. Why would someone want to play a game where you're basically all you're doing is fucking surveying people to figure out what that they would want to do? Like who the fuck? Who would care?
I mean, people would
Snacks,
play it.
food, see what movies they want to play.
Every single one
It's
of them would
basically
buy
a
that.
survey. It's not a game. This is a survey simulator. Just fucking what? Who would want to spend money on that?
Every
And
single one of them would buy that. Who are
every
you?
single one of them. I'm talking about actual normal people.
True.
Well, people play The Sims, right? It's kind of.
Yeah, but The Sims is like there's an actual game mechanic. What they're
I mean,
suggesting
what
is
are they
basically-
suggesting? That like you work at an AMC?
No, not even that. It's like that they can create their own look and,
That they-
and snacks and food and
They
like,
get to be Adam Arno.
yeah. Well, that was the joke that was going around on Meltdown. I even had the part. It's like, yeah, you can even get to the part where you fuck over your first lien credit holders.
Yeah, like how can you pull some financial shenanigans? That's like
Who
level
posted
up.
that? Is that Mehul? Surely.
Who?
All right, so I'm going to have to get over here to.
I know these are all pretty good, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of those weeks where we kind of had a
And we
pretty
didn't
decent
use
lineup.
like I didn't even cheat with a Kevin Malone or anything like that.
I know we didn't have really any cheat ones that were like obvious dead ringer. Like, come on, you're bringing them here. That's kind of low ball.
I mean, and there was plenty of Michael flavor that I could have used. So
Yeah, like his last one,
yeah,
where he's like trying to say like,
yeah, the colluding with to push a false narrative. I'm like, you can't be fucking serious, dude. You can't seriously be saying that.
the dude that basically goes around trying to connect everyone to Epstein. Okay, cool story, bro.
I mean, all of them, the PB show, like all of it is fucking false. Like it's all false narrative, all of it. Like, and you like.
What it's been like? What 2 years of false narratives? 3 almost.
Nobody pushes more false narratives than Michael does. Nobody. So he's got some set of fucking balls.
He's gone from Bed Bath and Beyond to basically being budget like bargain bin Alex Jones, and that's even being pretty disrespectful to Alex Jones. He at least has an entertaining show. Michael has zero fucking charisma.
Well, I think like now that Pulte's gone, I don't think anybody pays attention to him any damn way.
Well, it's been pretty obvious in the PP show's numbers, which they were at least doing what somewhere between 4,000 to 6,000 when Pulte was still around, and now they just do what hovering around 2,000-3,000 now.
I don't know.
people
Those are even still astonishing numbers.
Well, you also got to ask and wonder how much of it's plotted.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh. We got a tie going on here on the YouTube side. Where is rubbing my axe to break a tie between Amy and Platinum?
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Corey, you leave Shane alone
Mhm.
with his emojis, okay? Before we get
Oh no,
that-
we got a brand new emoji gate going on in the comments section.
Yeah, we do.
We got rid of the first
Vinegar's
emoji
doing
gate,
DD.
but I have a new one.
Oh my gosh.
Vinegar's doing DD on the account, so probably
He
best
knows
to
the-
just
the exact
probably best
emoji
to just let
pattern.
him finish. Yeah.
Matching it up.
Well, pending
I know
a
your
rubbing
emoji
my
pattern.
axe vote, I'm pretty sure we've got a tie here.
All right, who's the tie? Just tell me. Who loses?
You and Amy.
Oh, high five, Amy. Good job.
So, that
Yeah, I liked Amy's. Actually, I liked yours. I liked all of ours. They were all pretty good.
it was a pretty solid roundup this time around. I'm pretty honest.
Woo!
Um,
Well, happy
I will-
Mother's Day, Platt.
yeah.
Aw, same to you.
You guys doing anything special fun for Mother's Day?
Just going to my parents' house with my kiddos.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I'm doing. We have some.
Yeah, I'm
pork
gonna get donuts in the
tenderloin.
morning, as usual, and yeah, celebrate over at my grandparents' house.
Can't do that. I have to get to bed
No.
eventually. Sorry.
I'm tired.
So, any final thoughts, Platinum, to wrap us up for this evening?
Oh, happy Mother's Day, everybody, and
Yeah.
thanks for having us on.
Anything to wrap us up, Amy?
Same.
All righty. Well, we will see you guys next week. Last week of the month. Do we want to do it Friday like we normally done with the Buck Club last Friday of the
I
month?
mean, I haven't even gotten this book, so I don't know what.
I haven't even started. Yeah, I literally just
Yeah.
asked you guys again today what it was
We
called.
may have to push it a little bit.
Push it a little bit. That's fine. We'll figure it out.
We have this trial going on, so like
Yeah, Platt and I are very busy. Every day.
we are
Every
solving
day.
Next
this.
week, I mean, Monday we don't start until 10, but after
Sure.
that, it's going to be full days every day.
But
so
Mhm.
yes, for you folks, the next book club, whenever we manage to do that,
we'll figure it out.
will be the Spider Network. I can't remember what it is past that because it's a long title name, but
it's the LIBOR, the story.
yeah,
of
it's the LIBOR
Yeah.
book, basically. Yeah, about LIBOR and how it was manipulated. Interesting book. There's gonna be a lot of hubris in there for
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but it also is like
well, it doesn't get really into like the in-depth stuff. I think that was good. Like we had the book, what was it about the one where about the long-term capital management, where they got into the nuanced stuff and it got
Right.
really boring. This one just stays to the narrative and doesn't get too in depth, so it's actually a pretty good read.
no.
But we might have some people on who can give some of that depth and fill it back in, so that way we can talk about the narrative, but also talk about what happened, because it's kind of craziness. It was basically the metric that all banks were using to determine loans between banks and how much each group should be paid, and all the banks were basically manipulating the price for their own customers and their own ends.
They replaced it with SOFR. So what
Yes.
is known today as SOFR
As SOFR,
is
and
what
that's
they
why the Fed
replaced
stepped
LIBOR
in.
with.
So that'll do it for us this week. We will catch you next Saturday for the next episode of Truth Be Told. Later.